Hey everyone, I am Zero, here with you guys to suffer. And here we have Mythbot, and we also have Ryle.
Ain't been called
Hello.
Mythbot in a while.
You forgot your catchphrase, Zero.
Dylan's not. Dylan's not here, so I can't do it. He needs to be here.
All right.
Whenever he gets here, I'm just gonna say I'm Zero and the other thing, and then he'll say something, and then we'll make fun of him.
All right.
I mean, wait, okay, we make fun of him even if he is here.
I mean, we always make fun of him, so.
Yeah, screw that guy. Anyway. Last thing I remember is Jon Snow deciding to reveal his dragon to everyone.
Indeed.
Okay, the North, but technically everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna stay secret for long.
It's not even secret now. He just doesn't know it yet.
Just some hobo saw a dragon flying around doesn't mean that it's an open secret. Wait, that actually exactly means that. Never mind.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people here tonight. There's Watcher, hello Watcher, and La Pucelle Altre. Probably butchered that. Hello, the Saranath. Yes. We shall continue with The Rising Sun, Chapter 12. The chapter is titled Uprooted Evil. And, you can already figure out where this is going. Wait, I remember it started with a weird point of view. Yep, starts with
the Bolton bastard.
The Bolton bastard. No, it's happy holidays. Hope you enjoy. He wrote this at some point in the Christmas or something. Probably Easter.
We'll see.
Bolton bastard. He stabbed his dagger into the table in annoyance and turned to one of his men. Ben was his name, and he was supposed to be the one looking after his bitches. Ben, go see what the girls are barking at. Let's hope they've sniffed out another game for us to play, he sneered. It would seem the reports on their activities had spooked a few folk, and the roads were experiencing less and less people traveling on them as a consequence. His kennel master grunted as he got up from where he was sat. Wet stone left where he'd been sharpening their flaying knives. I love it whenever I see this. I feel like he has to put it just very early. It ain't the king of magic, bro. Look, I sat in a few of those streams and look, I wouldn't be able to do it here. Just 33 times saying the exact same thing in like very slightly different ways.
Don't you love reading lists?
Myth knows this pain. Yeah, they're actual dogs because the Boltons, Ramsay himself has a bunch of hounds.
Yes.
Oh, hello, Banana. I didn't realize it was you. Those beauties had seen a lot of action in recent days. The latest of their trophies was hanging just outside, and the next ones on the list were in the back room of their newly acquired hunting shack, tied up, gagged, and praying for a miracle. I wonder who's there.
I mean...
Wasn't it mentioned last chapter? That's the people Rob and Eddard are trying to save, probably.
Yes, but also...
Unless it's Rob and Ned and all of the Northmen.
Yeah.
I recognize Red and Ned and the Northmen, but I don't know who Rob is.
Red Roach, I meant.
Oh, okay. Red, okay. I got confused there.
But we know who's actually going to save them.
Oh, you wish this was King of Magic Electric Boogaloo. At least that would be like half funny. This is a quarter funny. 3/4 cringe. He smiled at that. The pair that they'd captured a few weeks ago had been an interesting hunt, to say the least. A lot more interesting than some of sniveling whores they'd used previously. Wait a minute. We have a new person here. I have to introduce myself properly now. As you well know, I am Zero, everyone's hero. And this is Dylan. Say hello, Dylan. Come on. Come on, buddy. I don't think he's talkative tonight. All right. Fine.
Hello.
Be the silent. Oh, he's here.
I am your resident god.
Wait a minute. No. There we go. I got a reaction for you.
It should have been a reaction of you kneeling.
Do I have to do that reaction again?
Yes.
Myth does it better. I'm gonna let him do it.
That's also acceptable.
There we go. Beautiful. I couldn't have done it better myself. Actually, I couldn't have done it better.
You could have gotten on your knees and knelt.
Why would I? Okay. Listen, man.
This is Dylan, people, with his delusions of grandeur.
Not delusions, straight fact.
Besides, look, Banana already sold his soul, and the Saranath is atheist. Get out of here. You don't exist.
They'll kneel all the same.
Whoa. Okay. You're very, what do they call it? Insane,
Confident.
yes. I mean, same thing. Or were we, yeah, they're talking about the sniveling whores they'd used previously. Yep. Let's see what the pair is about, though. A man and a woman with a 6-man escort was what they'd sniffed out. The guards were taken care of fairly easily. One of his lads, Skinner was his name. I wonder what he does. Skinner, what does he do? I don't know. He bakes cakes.
Sure.
He lost a hand in the fight. Oh. They decided to put him out of his misery. A knife to the heart while he scrambled for his lost hand was the kindest thing to do. What? Bro, you don't need 2 hands to skin people.
So basically, he's not doing anything anymore.
Yeah, exactly. His occupation is no longer valid.
He's permanently retired.
Pushing daisies. His bitches ate well that night. Oh my god, he wasn't even buried. Thanks to Skinner. Lord Harrion and Lady Allie Karstark were their prize in this particular hunt. A high-value pair indeed. Damon, one of his men, had suggested ransoming them, sending a letter to Rickard Karstark. He wasn't doing what he was doing for money, though. No, he wanted to play, and play they did. By the way, look at this sentence.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating sentence. I understand what he was going for. Yeah, he could have used an M dash somewhere. And, not repeat these words here. I guess you could just take this out and put it.
Yeah.
Doing it for the money. And then, okay, never mind. You put a semicolon here and an M dash here, and it will work. But I mean, it's still stupid, but it would work. Anyway, resuming the story. All the pleading and promises had done nothing to help their cause. They needed to learn that not even the highborn were safe from Ramsay Bolton.
Name drop.
And yeah, like he's the one narrating, and he's referring to himself in the third person. This is like me like saying
He's not even referring to himself in the third person correctly.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're
He is
He's
still
Ramsay
Ramsay
Snow.
Snow.
yeah. Oh right, the guy wrote this thing after season 7 or 8 or whatever, right?
Probably.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Not
though?
after season 8.
No, I mean
Started
like
it before season 8, I know.
the guy writing this is writing it with the mindset of being in season 7 at the very least. I'm not saying the story takes place after season 7.
Yeah. He's definitely started it with the mindset of the later seasons of the show.
Potato peeler. Skinner is a potato peeler. You know what? I like that. Or Skinner.
Skinner, the professional potato peeler. And that's why I had to put him down when he lost his hand. You can't peel potatoes with only one hand.
God damn, you're right. Guy. He was a good man. Right, the game was simple. Every time him and the boys would come to them, Lady Alice had to let them have their way with her. Aww. He would obviously be the one to take her maidenhead. It's only right a trueborn does the deed. Unfortunately, Lady Alice didn't understand the simple rules and refused as much as she could for somebody tied up and gagged. He laid out the rules for her once again, but also told her the consequences if she didn't play along.
A vector dark cookie.
Yeah.
Every time she refused them, her brother would lose a piece of himself. Simple. 12 days had passed and she'd refused every approach. Brother would tell her every time they arrived to not give them what they wanted. The dull man must realize he's only got a limited amount of many body parts.
And when he has to ruin them.
And the dark tone has been ruined.
You can cut off. If you know what you're doing.
Look, it's I don't know. This kind of confuses me every time I look at it. My brain kind of shuts down. Let me just like put my hand over it. Okay, I'm not looking at it anymore. There we go. Before it started to become a real problem for him. You know, cutting off the many body parts which are limited. And when he did finally die, Lady Alice's time would be up.
I have to give him credit. This is an inventive way to do it.
You know, yeah, okay. I can accept that. It's a good torture method worthy of a Ramsay Snow.
Yeah. He writes a better Ramsay than he does a urine.
Or urine.
He writes a better Ramsay than he does in anyone.
Even urine in the show was able to take down a dragon. The guy here, like, he's bent over and just got slapped.
Of course, that doesn't really save him considering he died to Jamie, who has one hand. And sucks.
Yeah, but finger in the bum?
No.
I love that moment.
I implore you to reconsider.
Oh dear.
And he did it too. It is confirmed.
I mean, he said that to Jamie, and then Jamie said,
"Your days are over, mister."
You love that movie. We were here. Okay. He had to give Lord Harrigan a bit of credit. He was soldiering on with their game. Some might even say he was winning. Ramsay, however, he knew the man was starting to struggle, and it was oh so beautiful to be there to see it. So beautiful. At the moment, he was 10 fingernails, 10 toenails, 4 teeth, and an earlobe down. Oh, it's like a list here. It's like a mini list.
Wait. He did it right. He did it right. He started with very small things.
I know, but like, it's a list. I like it.
Yes.
Little piece from home for Myth. I do like this, though, yeah. Small body parts. 10 fingernail, toenails, then teeth, and then now an earlobe. Wait, it's been 12 days. Wasn't it like refuse every... Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, each refusal was the loss of something.
But it's
That's 25
it's like the loss
things lost.
Yep. I guess he got carried away. You know, you're only human, right? You just you take one tooth out, and then you're like...
Or maybe they
other.
approach twice a day, and it's the beginning of the 13th day.
That's fair. At the end of the week, they'd be starting on fingers and toes. But Ramsay wanted both of his ears by the end of the day. So they didn't cut the entire ear, just the ear lobe?
Apparently.
That's vicious. Lord Harrigan's stubbornness was grating him a little.
Technically, the earlobe is its own separate body part.
And the ear? I mean, that's fair.
I mean, not if you have an attached earlobe.
No, now I'm thinking of what was the earlobe for in the first place?
Nothing.
This is what I'm wondering. What the heck did we use it for?
Well, nowadays we use it to look stupid with big ass gauges.
Earrings. And leave the poor guy with a fingernail missing on one hand but not the other be unbalanced. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm surprised this guy hasn't died from infection.
I mean, they could have burned and threw wine on it, boiling wine.
Thank you for that mental image.
You're welcome.
Like,
I mean, it would hurt him worse. It's a nice image.
Oh man,
it fits Ramsay well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dylan the sadist.
Thank you.
All right, Lord Harrigan's stubbornness was grating him a little, but he wouldn't show the man his annoyance. No, he'd show the man the sharp end of his flaying knife. He heard the muffled cries of the man in question and got up out of his chair to check the back room they were in. The grotty old wooden door banged against the wall as it was swung open, startling the pair of Karstarks cowering within. The smell in the room was pungent. A bucket in the corner of the room filled to the brim of their own making. I'm missing a word here. Okay, I know what he was trying to do here. He was trying to quote. He was trying to quote Samuel Tarley's line of Slint making a puddle.
Yeah,
it wasn't a good. It wasn't a good callback.
Damon wanted them to clean it out since the smell was starting to spread into the main room of the building, but he wasn't having none of it. It added a new flavor to their game. It increased pressure to get out of that room. A part of Ramsay wanted them to find a way out just so they could hunt them all over again. Wouldn't that be fun? You know, because you gotta add that line there. You pair of cunts are making more noise than my darlings out there. What's the matter? Finally seen the light and decided to forfeit in your quest to beat me in our little game? He said with a sharp grin as he spun his dagger in the palm of his hand. He moved across the room and stood in front of Alice. He slid the flat side of his cold steel against her cheek as she whimpered. You know, this actually isn't so bad, like the descriptive part.
Dirk has moments.
Yes, it does add the flavor, doesn't it? Yeah, Dirk, like I swear, Dirk has these moments where you think this dude could write something solid, and then he just says something stupid afterwards. Her eyes were full of tears. She had such wonderful eyes. He knew he wouldn't find it difficult staring into them when he took her. Those eyes he was admiring turned to her right to look at her brother, her unmoving brother. He...
You know, he really gets Ramsey's character right.
I feel like that might be concerning.
Honestly,
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen him write a character well.
But you know he will ruin it once John shows up.
Yeah, his character will be assassinated entirely afterwards.
Of course.
At least he ain't the author of the list. Jesus Christ. Alright, so I'm guessing the brother died. Let's see what we got here. He flicked a strand of grimy hair from the face of the downtrodden lord.
Or
what?
He's just faking.
You know what?
To get Ramsey close to him.
Yeah.
And we'll bite an ear off.
And a light prick of his dagger against the man's cheek, and the blood began to slowly trickle down his face. Still no movement from the man.
He would have to have very good body control.
His head was leant down. Way of saying it. Eyes closed and chest unmoving. What a shame. The game was starting to get interesting, but Lord Harrion didn't seem interested in staying to witness the outcome. Oh dear, he said as he bent his knees and squatted in front of the seated lord. He turned to Alice, whose eyes were now wide with realization. No big brother in the way anymore now. The boys will be very excited to hear about dessert tonight. You've kept them wait. Oh, okay. Okay, so you've kept them wait, and then the top of the assumed deceased lord's head connected with his nose as the pair of them ended up on the ground. He shook his head from the jarring shot and kicked Karstark square in the gut whilst he was laid next to him. The lord himself howled in pain and writhed on the floor, still completely tied up to his chair. He lifted Lord Harrion back into a seating position and struck him square in the face with his fist, blood pouring from his nose. Lady Alice cried in anguish at the sight of her brother being struck.
I mean, she should be used to this by now. He's been struck should be nothing.
I mean, this isn't really something you get used to.
Yeah.
Fair.
It is disturbing that the only character he's writing well is the torturer. And yeah, like I expected the dude to flinch if you get cut by something. Unless you're full of adrenaline, you're gonna flinch. But I mean, if you're full of adrenaline, you're just gonna ignore it.
I mean, he could easily have been full of adrenaline. He's in the middle of hatching a scheme against someone who's just tortured him for days. The adrenaline could have definitely been running.
That's fair, but wouldn't they be starved and weak anyway in the first place?
That still, the adrenaline could still be running even if you're starved and weakened.
But what was the point? I mean, he was still tied to a chair.
Honestly, the point might have just been so he could hit the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to show that Harrion is a good man, and then just to hit him, just to show how much evil Bolton is.
We saw it already. We don't need to see it more.
Clever, he said as he waved and pointed his dagger at the man. Very clever. But you didn't think about these, did you? He said as he grabbed the ropes tied to the man and decided to tie them a little tighter. The Lord whimpered at the added pressure. We are gonna have so much fun with the pair of you tonight. We might even let you watch as Lady Alice here becomes a real woman. Would you like that, Harrion? Would you like to see your little sister pay for your little ruse? See her mounted by every man in this shack? Yes, I think I'll allow it. I think I'll allow it with it being such a momentous occasion. I think I'll allow it. Okay. I understand now.
This sounds very much like Ramsey. He did the same with Theon and Jin. Janae? How do you pronounce that name?
I don't know.
Wasn't it Jane?
Jane, yes. He was interrupted by Damon rushing through the door. Lord Bolton, he all but shouted as he gathered his breath. Girls have got a scent. Going mad they are. Think it might be something big. Ben went to check with a couple of the dogs, but hasn't returned yet. Damon finished as he left the room to prepare. He turned back to his pair of prisoners. Looks like my men will be in a wonderful mood when they return from the hunt, he said with a beaming smile. He turned to Alice. Who knows? If they're in a real good mood, they might make it feel nice for you tonight, he said as he brushed a strand of hair from her face and cupped her chin. I won't, though. I want you to remember it. I want you to feel the pain in more than just your gun. I want you to feel it in your entire being. Jesus Christ.
Damn.
I keep thinking, like, how is this guy writing this dude so well? What's going on? This is like
This is disturbing. I worry for Dirk now.
We've had 11 chapters of pure garbage with every character acting differently than they should. And we go to the Bolton chapter, and this is like, I feel like I'm literally in the show right now. Like, he said with a beaming smile. I'm literally imagining it.
You know what they say, write what you know.
Oh God.
Oh, that's why I'm concerned.
Is it concerning that I already could have written this?
Yes.
Oh, Banana's saying that this is weak because you've already read the list. Say to that. Oh, he's not saying that? No idea then. We'll see what he says, but I will continue. And with that, he pushed her face away and made his way out of the room, remembering to bolt the door. He smiled as he heard the sobs from within.
Get it? Because he's Bolton.
Yes. That's what Oh.
The sobs of women?
The bolt on, the bolt off. And what about the sobs of women?
So there's multiple women in this place.
No. The sobs from within.
Oh, I thought you said women.
Oh, are you on your phone?
Why?
Oh, I'm wondering if you didn't actually read it. I can make the screen a little bigger for you if you want.
I'm on the computer, but I was on my phone doing something.
Oh, all right. This is not surprising if you were the one to write it.
Oh.
That's mean.
I'm sorry? Who is this?
Oh.
Who do I need to destroy?
Well, when you say you, do you mean me or do you mean Dylan?
I think he's talking about Dylan in response to him being able to write this.
Ah, okay, yeah, you're right. That's right. I mean, hey, don't think I can't write torture. I've written torture.
Yeah.
Your book starts with torture.
Yeah.
And that's torture in it. Well, I mean, guys sitting in a room hearing torture.
I'm about to say, I'm not sure I'd call that.
Look, all I know is I got a review saying that the book is full of overwhelming violence, and I was like, all right.
That's a sheltered person.
Okay, Karen.
I mean, okay, I'll admit it is very violent. I kind of went overboard with that.
No.
Not for Dylan.
Yeah.
Well, Dylan's not exactly the sane metric to use.
Hey, I object.
When your mind makes mental cocaine, you can make some horrible cocaine.
What?
Speaking from experience, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think I want to confirm it either way.
Let's continue. John is about to show up.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
here. Damon was looking through the window with concerned look on his face as he grabbed his bow and his whip. Oh, this guy's got a whip. Nice.
Nice.
Something doesn't seem right. What?
Would a random shack in the north have a window?
I don't think so. The glass should be extremely expensive.
It should be reserved for the glass gardens.
Exactly. Like any glass would be used to, like a hydroponics or a greenhouse. Sorry.
Doesn't Westeros? They can't make very good glass. They usually import it from
His house.
Yeah,
From Mira.
I think it's Mir in it.
Mir's
Mir's
glass.
glass.
Yeah.
Yep.
See your question? I'm not going to answer that because I don't want to know.
I'm guessing yes. I'm guessing yes, and we will find out eventually.
It'll be like Ryle. It'll be like that Pokemon thing you were looking earlier.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You see that? Oh my god! What was it like? Submission 18 plus. What?
Oh
This is a
god.
Pokemon fanfic. What's going on?
Make her loyal.
Oh god.
Wait. I had a list. Make her loyal, master and slave, 18 plus, becoming more obedient, bringing under control.
It's crazy.
Breeding
should, like,
center.
We should like compile this list and make Master M read it because he's good at lists.
I'm sorry, Real, but that posting was horrible, but not as bad as King of Magic. You have failed again.
You know who else failed? You did.
No, I didn't. I always
Hey.
win.
You didn't say Ryle's name right, you dick.
Yeah.
How do you know that wasn't on purpose?
It was very quick. Here, we realize windows shouldn't exist here. As he grabbed his bow and his whip, something doesn't seem right out there, boss. He said as Ramsey joined him at the window. I feel
He's
like
failed again. He has failed again. Whip? No, you don't use.
Look, man, I know you don't use a whip, but I'm more laughing at this. This is such a classic plot. Like, when this dude is the goon that's about to get destroyed by John. I can already feel it because he's like, something doesn't seem right out there, boss. He's the guy. He has to be the guy.
Like, he's the guy that gets sent out and gets destroyed in seconds.
Like, who's this new guy? I bet he's nothing special. And he walks up to him and gets his ass beat.
Or he goes out and we never see him again. Killed off screen.
A guy already went out and was never seen again. The guy with his dogs. Yeah, this
and
is
you don't
the
think
second
he used
guy.
the same trope twice?
I mean, he's been solid so far in this chapter. Maybe he can stay on point. I'm hoping, but I don't know.
And suddenly the fit gets good after this chapter.
Look, if the fit gets good, then we get some good reading, right?
Maybe that's why Myth left Kudos.
I've already told you, I use kudos as a metric of what I've read. If I reach the end and I try to leave kudos and I can't, it tells me I've already read it.
Jesus Christ.
You tell yourself that.
I have to say, nice excuse.
Oh, look, there's nothing in these woods we should be concerned about. We're at the top of the food chain out there. He looked at Damon, who didn't look convinced. Don't worry, friend, he said as he placed his arm around his shoulder. We'll get a good hunt out of this. I can just sense it. He then grinned. And we've got afters for dessert, he finished as he nodded his head to the locked room. He turned to the rest of the room that consisted of him, Damon, Yellow Dick, Uton, Alan,
that
and
sounds
Grunt.
like a medical condition.
His voice. Wait, Harold's name is now longer?
Yes. It always
Jesus
gets longer.
Christ. All right, let me try to read
Very
this.
much so. Very much longer.
I will give it an attempt.
And Myth still isn't reading it fully.
Harold
I'm
James
not
George
including
Arthur.
the titles.
You should include the titles.
Yes,
Yeah.
titles?
Yes.
Of course.
Well, I'm just going to read the name for now. Let's see here.
If you
Harold
say
James
Lord.
George Arthur Philip Albert Richard Loki Black Stark. Oh, yeah, because Marvel,
Uncle.
Tony Stark. That's right. Slytherin, Gaunt, Stewart, Sari, Quirrell? What? Where did what? I didn't know he had a kid.
We're pretty sure that one's Rite of Conquest.
Quirrell, the Fae, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff. I like how Slytherin is just on its own here, and then Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff is just down the line. Doesn't matter.
Don't forget
Moon
Moon
Lily.
Lily, the secret forgotten fifth Hogwarts house.
Of course, Moon Lily, Pendragon, Merlin, Emery, Ryan,
Don't
Ilvermorny.
forget that Merlin and Emery are two separate persons.
Yeah, Imry is supposed to be Imris. And the author didn't know that Merlin and Imris were the same person.
What?
Yes.
Okay. Salem, Flamel? When did he marry Perenelle? Isn't she like dead or like 700 something years old?
No. Why
I'm
does
still
he-
not sure how that one's worked in.
Hey, Beaubaton? What? He's married to a school now?
No. He is the lord of the school.
Just like Ilvermorny.
Yeah, okay, you're right. It's Salem. Okay, these are all school names. GCC. Wagadoo, that's another school name. Romanov? What, so the Black Widow? That keep doing
No, the Russian nobility.
As
And
in
don't forget-
Anastasia Romanoff, the Russians.
And she's Madame Pomfrey.
Yeah.
What? Madame Pomfrey?
Yes.
Yeah, Madame Pomfrey is Anastasia Romanoff.
The plump Mediwitch, Madame Pomfrey.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay,
I mean-
Bonham, Fleamont, Barnes. Bro, come on. Oldstein? What, he's related to Anthony now?
To be fair, Bucky got around a lot. He could have easily had a kid.
That's fair. Da Vinci? Is this Da Vinci?
Yes.
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 Oh god, it gets worse. I just looked ahead. Okay, let me read this one. Koldolfstorets, something like that.
That's the Russian school of magic.
Of course it is. Washington, Franklin, Jefferson, Hancock, Adams. Van Gogh? I have a painting in my living room. Anderson. Wait, it keeps going. There's another one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Buckman? Harkness, like Agatha Harkness?
Yes.
Yes.
Redbird. I don't know what this one is. Evans, like I guess his mom. Tudor, like the British nobility.
Yes.
Yes, he is the
Yes.
Tsar of Russia. Russia.
He's the
Didn't
king
they
of
already say
magic.
Rhine? Hohenzollern. Why are there season names now? Summer, winter?
Because summer and winter court.
Oh yeah, because Dresden
The
Files.
Fey courts.
Wait, how can a human inherit the
Oh,
Fey
he
he's a
doesn't
courts?
high
just
elf.
he owns the Fey courts. He owns them.
Bro, Mab can snap her fingers and destroy the entire wizarding world. Get out
Mab
of here.
is going to be his slave. I'm sure the mother is going to bow.
Is Hermione the slave yet, or Ron?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I'm sure Ron will end up mucking out the horse stalls.
Avalon. Iron Court. Iron Court? The heck is the Iron Court?
No idea.
It's a thing from Marvel Comics, I think.
I'll have to look it up. Bones, Nicholas. I have no idea at this point. Lestrange. Wait, Lestrange.
Yes, he married Bella and I forget her husband's name.
But yeah, wasn't there a part with Bella talking to Neville or some crap?
Nope, that was Bella's daughter.
I
Oh,
think Rudolph.
Not
Terrible.
Delphine, though. Yet.
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 Also, just to record, the Merlin house should be named Ambrosius, as was Merlin's last name. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Question? Of course I'm going to question it. What kind of channel do you think this is?
Now list all of his wives.
We'll do that in another stream. I'm literally gonna have to like put a timestamp in this, like just the start of the King of Magic talk to the end of it in this one. All right. So we were
They
at Yellow
timed me
Dick.
reading that whole name, and it took me 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Fuck.
And he still hasn't included his titles. Neither did that.
All right, you sorry lot. Ben's gone out there already. Let's go join him. Ben's probably already gotten his ass.
Oh, yeah.
His men got up from where they were sat, preparing. Let the hunt begin, he roared as the rest of the room followed suit with his cry. Before they even left the shack, however, Ramsay realized something was wrong. The bitches have stopped barking. They never stop until the hunt is over. He put his hand up to cease the chatter that had taken over the room. Damon was giving him that concerned look he had been before. He was now wary. This could get interesting. He loved a challenge. It made the prize that much juicier. Made Yellow Dick, a truly awful man to look at, open the door and go out first. The rest of the group were already prepared for a fight that everybody was now expecting due to Ramsay's changes in demeanor. Yellow Dick, fuck, he doesn't even have a capitalization in his name anymore. He's not worthy.
He's gonna die.
Yellow Dick. Okay. Just give me a second. Calm down, Zero. Yellow Dick didn't even get a chance to open the door fully before the rest of the dogs were scratching at it and squeezing through the gap to shelter inside. That was unsettling, and it only got worse when the girl started whining.
You know what's funny? I think Yellow Dick is actually a person in the books.
Might be. $530 odd dollars. Yes. Damon looked at him even more concerned if that was possible. All he could do was furrow his brow in confusion. Wolves? Damon asked. He shook his head. We've hunted wolves before. The girls don't have a problem with them as long as they stay in a pack, and we're with them with bows. No, whatever it is has to be something new. He looked around the room. The men were waiting for his instructions like the good servants they were. Whatever it is, Whoever it is, I want its head right there, he said in a cold tone as he pointed above the fireplace. Fireplace? Aren't they in a shack?
Apparently,
Yeah.
it's a fireplace.
Yeah, I wish I had a shack with a fireplace and windows and just chilling in the woods.
Honestly, this
Maybe-
shack must have cost a fortune.
Maybe not killing people, but like just chilling. Maybe fishing. People. His men looked worried but nodded their head in affirmation. Oh, he's using big words here. Eamon and Grunt leashed all the dogs that were in the shack with them and practically dragged them out of the front door. They did not want to go outside in the slightest, it would seem. No matter. They needed to follow. They needed to track and hunt. They needed to win. The group entered the woods that Ben had been last seen entering, with a few of the other bitches. Every time he says this, he did not return, and the dogs in question couldn't be heard in the distance at all. Part of him was telling him that something was very wrong as they tentatively advanced into the thicker depths of the woods. How many times have we said something's wrong here? Like, we get it, something is wrong.
Dirk is trying to build suspense.
Not doing it well, but he's trying.
He's trying to build suspense and ended up destroying the pacing of his scene. You can already tell.
Yeah.
Like, this particular kind of scene should be like something's wrong, and then almost a few seconds after they start like trying to get together to start something, then John should be swooping in. But like they just keep building it.
Another problem is he just says something is wrong instead of showing how it is wrong.
That too. Like, they're not talking about tension of the body or like feeling a chill in the air or like a shiver down his spine. No sense of fear. Just something is wrong. What? Such a fucking vague term that means absolutely nothing. I could say right now, something's wrong. Maybe I didn't eat. Maybe I stubbed my toe. Stubbed my toe. Something's wrong. World annihilation. Something's wrong.
Finger in the bum. Something's wrong.
Terrible. Shacks have fireplaces. They have to for warmth because they have no insulation. You would think that.
They would have a hearth.
They would have a hearth. Usually something in the center of the room with no wood underneath it, and no, it's not close to any of the walls.
Yeah.
But yes, something is very wrong here. Damon came up to his left. I think it might be a better idea to hold out in the shack, my lord. The girls are dragging their heels and the men seem reluctant to go any further, he said. Ramsay turned and grabbed Damon by the throat and held his dagger near his neck. He felt the man gulp from underneath his palm. Want us to hide, is that it? Ramsay Bolton doesn't hide, which means you don't hide, understand? He growled as he lightly slid the dagger across the length of the man's neck. Just enough pressure to break the skin, and nothing. What?
I think it, and nothing more.
I'm not. I could be getting this wrong, but Ramsay wasn't really the type to run into battle like that.
Yeah, he was
ambush at night.
exactly the type to hide.
Yeah, that's what he did the entire time in when they killed the Baratheon men. Before that, they did the night raid, but like Ramsay stayed in the castle, and during the fight, Ramsay stayed in the back lines and then retreated to the castle.
And there goes that great characterization of Ramsay that he had going.
Yeah, like instantly went against his guys, and it's this like Ramsay isn't stupid. He wouldn't do that.
No.
It's not necessarily.
As soon as he felt something was wrong, he would run.
I feel like I have to change the the description of this particular video. I was just saying something's wrong. On the recap next week, we'll be like, well, in the last chapter, we knew that there was something wrong there. And that's it.
Wasn't Xana supposed to join us this time?
I mean, she said she might. She didn't say she would.
Yeah.
And I linked it in the channel where she's in, and she never joined, so I figured she must be busy. Okay. You don't understand. We did this part. He didn't want to kill his men. He begrudgingly needed them right now. Damon closed his eyes and nodded. He gasped for breath as Ramsey released him from his hold. Good. Glad that's all settled then, he said as they started walking again. The rest of his boys seemed to collectively sigh in relief now that the little outburst from Damon was over.
You know what I'm wondering? Where's Reek? Like the first Reek that Ramsey had?
I don't know. I don't think this dude considers first Reek as a character. Yeah, don't think about it. He climbed over an uprooted tree along with the rest of them. A freshly uprooted tree. Oh, I hate writing like this. How would you? Okay, I don't know about you. If I see a tree that was uprooted, like these guys, they need to use axes to pull down trees, and then the stump itself, they have to cut it down to pieces just to be able to move it, right?
Yeah.
So if you see a whole tree that was uprooted, you immediately understand that there is something extremely dangerous here.
I mean, not in our world.
Yeah, not in our world, obviously. I'm talking about in this world.
In this world, probably not even in this world. Dragons are pretty much supposed to be gone. Mammoths and other things that be on the wall are supposed to be myths and legends.
I know, but I'm saying you should be very scared if something that like this happens because it's not common at all.
Yeah, trees don't just get uprooted in a medieval society.
True.
Even the mountain cannot uproot trees.
I mean, it's maybe a small one.
I'm talking about normal trees. He held his hand up and let out a small whistle to let the group know he was stopping. The men stopped around him. He held out to let them know he was stopping. The men stopped. Bad writing. And looked at him for further instructions. They'd have to wait, though. He was too busy trying to work out why he was experiencing a sense of dread in the pit of his stomach. I don't know. It might be the freshly uprooted tree that you just climbed over like it was nothing.
It might be the instincts that cause the back of your neck hair to rise up and, you know, the goosebumps and everything.
Chapter is only a good beta away from being half decent. You know what?
Yes, instincts are a thing.
You're right. It is a good beta away. But most people don't think they need betas. To be fair, I don't use betas, but I practiced a lot. You should have seen my first stuff. It was horrifying.
I sort of want to.
Yeah, even if I wanted to find them, I can't. They're gone. They're before the Wayback Machine started taking regular snapshots of random fan fictions.
You also don't just post as soon as you finish writing. You take the time to edit first.
Before that, I didn't take time to edit. My initial releases of Lightning Dragon's Roar was like I would write the chapter and I would just like scroll down really quick. Are there any errors here? That looks fine. Just press publish. I mean, it was okay. I would if I would go back to that story, if I really had the time for it, I would rewrite the thing from the ground up. Same plot, just like better pacing, better narration.
Same story, just better execution.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see the point in doing that because, I mean, why tell the same story again and again, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, he's
Honestly, Lightning Dragon War, I still think has the potential to be a very big fic if you do it right.
I mean, wait, it is a big fic. Come on.
I'm talking one of those million-word suckers.
Oh, I thought you meant like.
I thought he was talking in popularity.
Yeah.
No. I think it's a great fic at the moment. I just think it has the potential to be one of those million-word monsters that's really good.
Yeah, like when I come back to it, the first thing I'm gonna do is split it into arcs so that people know when to take breaks. And
Hey, I'll be right back.
it's like 70 chapters. I mean, 69 chapters with the 70th just being a notice.
Yeah.
So, like, imagine just starting the story and just continuing and never stopping because you don't know if the arc ends here and you can take a break. But yeah, I should do that.
I mean, that's how I tend to read anyway.
I also made a mistake with my first book. I didn't name any of the chapters. So I'm gonna do that with the second book. I'm gonna name, like, I'm gonna have chapter 1, chapter 2, but I'm also gonna add names to them.
Yeah.
Were we see a sense of dread? He looked to his right and saw another freshly uprooted tree not too far away from the first one. There was even another one further away from that one.
Something is very wrong now.
Damn. Never check your own work because you read what you think you wrote rather than what you did write. If you get good enough, you can correct your own writing.
And also, if
However,
you take the time between finishing writing and checking the work.
exactly. You don't immediately correct after you finish writing. You wait. For fan fictions, I wait like a day, and then I read it again. For my book, I wait like a week, and then I look at it again. And I do that constantly, over and over. For at least for my book. For my, like that's why my book takes time to write versus my fan fictions, which are like 2 a month now. I'm trying to do 3. Is the channel the Patreon's getting bigger, so I should probably the winner of the vote would get the first release, and then the second thing on the list will get the second release, and the third one will be whatever I want. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of people who vote in Pursuit of Magic, and I don't want to make them angry with me.
Yeah.
I do like that
It
story.
would also give Z Gamer a chance to actually win the vote.
Imagine that, Z Gamer winning.
Like, they try so hard.
Elemental Trinity should win.
It's not one of the options, though.
Yeah, why not, by the way?
Wait, what'd you say?
Why is Elemental Trinity not one of the choices?
Should I put it as a choice?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I'll put it as a choice, but I'll have to upload it on my website first. Take a while.
It's the only one that
I'll
I
do it.
haven't read.
That's why I have an editor. I don't have an editor. I am my own editor. Sometimes I do ask the guys to look at it for me. But I don't specifically ask them to edit it. I just like, does this look stupid? They're like, no, it
I'm
looks
more
fine.
asking for if it makes sense, if the plot works, than grammar and stuff.
Did I destroy the plot? No, you didn't. All right, time to post it. Okay, something is very wrong. Yellow dick turned to him. And what do we do now, boss? He whispered. This guy is such a.
But you gotta do the real low grunt voice.
Oh,
What do we do now, boss?
Sorry. Just let me drink some water here. What do we do now, boss? He whispered. He was about to answer, but Alan annoyingly cut him off from his position further away at the front of the party. Boss, you might want to see this, he said, a slight wobble in his speech. Oh, a wobble? Boss, you might want to see this. He moved towards the front of the party, passing a few more thick-trunked trees, before standing side by side with Alan and seeing just what Alan wanted his to see. Him, okay. He just couldn't work it out. None of it made sense. In front of them was a large clearing, and not a natural clearing, it had to be said. 10 or so uprooted trees, completely trampled and broken into the soil beneath them. The earth itself looked like it'd been ripped to shreds, like he'd seen his dogs do to a horse face.
Yeah.
I feel like 10 or so trees is way too few for the size that Kireina is.
Oh yeah, you're
What
right.
did I miss?
Well,
She trains.
Something is very wrong.
something is very wrong. So just
That was where we were when I left.
no.
Yeah,
That was an
and,
extra one.
and 10 trees were uprooted.
We're now in a clearing with 10 or so uprooted trees, completely trampled and broken into the soil. Now we get to see
Wait.
what's up.
How tightly packed is this place in trees?
It
Oh, no.
says a large clearing, so probably not.
It's a large clearing. It doesn't say how big it is. It's large.
But
You know how how
I feel
pizza
like
is large?
it's way too few for what the size of Kireina is
It
still.
also says not a natural clearing, so it wasn't a clearing before she got there.
Yeah, basically she dropped John off there.
So Kireina is only the size of Drogon now.
Seemingly so, yes.
Maybe she just landed on one leg. Ever thought of that?
She has the special ability to change her size when the plot needs her to.
Look, man, maybe she's handstanding. You don't know.
No, I know exactly what she did. She shrunk. She's becoming more powerful so she can make a human form to be John's waifu.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, look at that. You see this, guys?
Oh,
This is
look.
called logic. No one heard
Derek
these
has
trees
never
uprooted.
shown much of that.
Not at all.
I feel like he would ask, if I had the chance to ask him that, he will just look at me and just keep writing whatever he was writing. Like, bro,
I
Dirk.
mean, Ramsey was busy.
I think you would still hear trees uprooting.
That's still quite a lot of noise.
Also, trees uprooting immediately implies that the ground is shaking
Yeah.
from the pressure. Also, from what this is here, completely trampled and broken into the soil beneath them. That means he literally dropped her entire weight into this new clearing, meaning ground shaking. Anyway, Ben, he heard Alan say to his right. He looked at the man and followed his line of sight. Alan was right. Ben was here. But he was dead. Very dead. All they could see was the top end of his body, eyes bulging out of his head, profound veins ready to pop all over his face and neck. The other half of him was under the immense pressure of a fallen tree. He couldn't see the damage, but if he had to guess, the tree probably crushed his inner lower half, including half of his torso, and without a doubt killed the man instantly.
So now they'll just think there was some wind and this guy died from a falling tree.
Saw Damon shake his head. What a way to go, he said.
What a great reaction.
He's such a goon. What a way to go. It's definitely not going to be me. Yeah, the branches breaking will be incredibly loud as well. Like, this is not even considering the shaking ground. Kyle, please. Sound.
Yes.
I heard all that. I'm sorry. Branches breaking, put down. It's a gun. I mean, yeah. You break a tree. Not only will you shake the ground, you'll also crack all the wood. And all. Shit, what do you call it? I forget the exact term, but I mean, never mind. What a way to go, he said. Yes, crushed to death by a tree. He said, and huffed shortly after. I can't be dealing with weak links in the group. That tree did us a favor. He finished.
Wait,
I
wait.
think,
Does he just
anyone.
did he just say his guy's weak because the tree crushed him?
Yes.
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 Like Ramsey would fare any better if a tree fell on
Of course he would.
He's Ramsey fucking Bolton, all right? You don't know what you're talking about.
him.
All right. Damon's face didn't change when Ramsey looked at him. He didn't get a chance to retort with something that would no doubt get his tongue ripped out, as the whole group, including him, he begrudgingly had to admit, were shaken to their core by the intense and increasingly stronger rumblings of the earth. Oh, now the earth is shaking. Let's see what's going on now. What the fuck is that? More than one person. Wait, no, I have to say it deeply. What the fuck is that? More than one person said as they looked around the outskirts of the clearing that had all now moved into the middle of. The bitches were whining even more now, and Yellow Dick and Grunt were struggling to keep them under control. I don't think I need to say anything there.
Yeah, that was.
This is on okay. This is on purpose. I feel like he just puts these near each other just so that people have their brains link them.
Of course.
Shut up and let me think, he hissed as he tried to work out what direction the sounds were coming from. To his left and his right, he heard the unsheathing of steel. It seems that his men had made up their decision and were preparing to fight whatever the fuck was about to come out of those trees. Ramsay Bolton is never speechless. Ramsay Bolton is never fearful. How? Was all he could breathe out. I think I might die now. Bro. You know what? I did sound like a disappointed mother because I feel like one. I mean, I'm gonna keep that comment up for a while because this is my feeling the entire story. So, Ramsay Bolton has been character assassinated, which I mean I understand it's a dragon, but like he's prepared to
He
see
was
what comes out of
doing
trees.
so well too.
Honestly, there's a fic that was abandoned called it had an ice dragon that John unearthed in the north, and Ramsay infiltrated John's army and was able to get the position of Dragon Keeper and was able to poison the dragon with grayscale infected meat. Ramsay was characterized completely well in that fic. This guy was doing so well until this shit.
See what he does now. I bet he cries. He'd never given much thought about his own mortality. He just assumed he'd live until he was gray. It was jarring to think that his end was hulking its way towards them at a tremendous speed, each step making his entire being shake. He couldn't run or hide from this. He had to die or fight. Oh! Redemption? He didn't want to die right now. He had too many plans to see through. He had to fight. Yes, fight is what he would do. Ramsay Bolton will be one day remembered for the many feats and accomplishments he'd achieved, but none of them will be more memorable than the day he slayed a dragon single-handedly. Come on, then, you cunt. Let's see what you've got. Oh, no.
John.
Well,
Time to drop kick Ramsey.
Well,
Of course.
what is that line they say? Barely an inconvenience.
It's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
That's literally what this is.
Yes.
Dude, we've literally spent like I don't know how much time hyping this guy up, and then the last few seconds, he's gone. He's just
Yeah.
I was gonna
Didn't
say he
even
got
get the
stomped.
chance to fight.
I was gonna say he got stomped, but he quite literally got stomped. Like I was saying it in terms of like he got destroyed so quickly it didn't even matter. No. He literally got stomped. Or something. I'm not sure. Yeah. He heard the crunch of bone revert. Okay, she ate him. Just bit him clean in half. Never mind, he didn't get stomped. He got chewed. Chomped, as it were. She bit the first man clean in half with one snap of her vice-like jaw. The men surrounding the now destroyed man just stood there in disbelief, half of them looking at Kireina, the other staring at the remains of their friend she'd just chewed down on. I'm pretty sure he wasn't their friend. Whimpering dogs fleeing the scene and leaving the rest of these men to be judged by Death Incarnate herself. And based off of the second man being torn in half, she wasn't in the mood to let them off in the slightest. It was over in a matter of seconds. The final man, who foolishly attempted to wrap a whip around Kireina's neck. Oh no, Damon was picked up between the dragon's teeth and catapulted.
What did he think is what?
I'm impressed.
He tried.
Damon,
Bro,
the
he tried.
stereotypical thug was the last man standing.
Yeah.
And then he did something so stupid.
No.
What did
was
he
picked
think
up
of-
between the dragon's teeth and catapulted across the clearing, hitting the base of a tree with a sickening crunch and snap before slouching into the pile on the ground unmoving. No. This is a respectable death. I have to give him props for this.
No, it's not.
Look, man.
What did he think a whip was going to do to a dragon? It barely hurts a regular person.
Look, it's better to die like this than to just cry and get chewed. Okay?
Yeah.
It's better than growing up crying for your mummy. I didn't even mean for that.
I'll accept that, Saranath. He was indeed hyping himself up, and I guess you can write stories like this if you're writing stomps. It makes kind of a little bit of sense. Like you see this sort of thing in like you know those anime that have like the character who is the Demon King reincarnated or whatever, and just dominates every
Those can be
scene.
fun.
This is kind of like that.
You mean 50% of all anime recently?
Beelzebub's earlier chapters had Oga dominate pretty much everything.
I am impressed with Damon the Grunt.
I'm not.
Damon had a good death in my eyes.
No, it's not how he died or what he did when he died. It's the fact that he was the stereotypical grunt and he was the last man standing.
Yep. And die first. I was expecting him to die first. Something wrong out there, boss.
What I want to know is if John actually knew that they were doing bad things, or if he just listened to Kireina and just stomped them for no reason.
He listened to Kireina, who was listening to the crows, I guess.
I mean, John can just claim plausible deniability. It's not like he could have stopped Kireina.
Oh, no, yes, he could.
Honestly,
She's his mind, body, and soul.
she's the most submissive dragon ever.
But the others don't
everyone
know
else
that.
doesn't know that.
And remember, she's connected by a dragon rider bond like an inheritance. But this one is submissive.
But everyone else doesn't know that.
That's true.
Everyone else only knows the Targaryens, and they
Why
couldn't.
everyone else will see big fuck off dragon
And not see
and
shit.
the Stark bastard, and they're all, yeah, there's no way he's controlling that.
Yes, Beelzebub was awesome.
Is that how you read that? Can you read that again for me? Yeah,
Beelzebub.
there you go. Beelzebub. That's right. Yeah, I know. I'm a
Okay.
dick.
So this is another epic fight scene for Dylan to enjoy.
No.
It really was. By the way, guys, when we say epic fight scene, we mean it's over in seconds and like nothing is described in terms of the fight itself.
Except for Damon getting flung into that tree.
Yeah, like okay, look, Damon. Okay, I'll admit this was at least a little more than what we usually find. Surveyed the area. They were. Oh, God damn it!
He did it with
We're
stood
stood in.
now.
From the
It's
back
not
of
sad.
yeah, I mean, okay, it is not. Yeah, you're right. I should be happy about this. Happy zero. I'm happy now. From the back of Kireina's huge figure, carnage everywhere, corpses and trees strewn about the place. Is he quoting Monty Python?
Yeah.
To his left, he spotted the first person the pair of them encountered from the group earlier, crushed under a tree in an attempt to avoid Kireina's feet. Too busy mesmerized by her sheer presence, the man had not even seen the tree fall as Kireina meandered around the forest with her massive bulk, unintentionally uprooting tree left and right in the process.
These are some... I'm not sure if you can call this a forest. If it's big enough for her to move around freely.
Nope.
And tower over the trees, yeah. In the end, Mother Nature had done them a favor, ending the man. Some of the things he was saying to the pack of dogs he had with him were disgusting. Mentions of
Wait.
hunts and torture and flaying was all the convincing he needed that the best course of action was to remove this man and the rest of his friends from society. What were you saying?
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
That's a fair point. They can't do anything because he has a dragon. Kireina. I mean, they couldn't. No, he doesn't need the dragon.
He's Jon Snow.
He's Jon Snow. When he was young, he defeated 3 guards on his own without any weapons.
Honestly,
And then killed a bunch of wolves, and then killed a bear and took its pelt.
he probably could have
With a
decimated the shit out of these people.
And let's not forget that he broke Theon's nose, which has yet to be healed.
Sorry, that's right. He's like a Houndoom.
He's gonna break the. I just thought of something. He's gonna break Theon's nose again when he sees him.
Oh God, no! Why? Literally, what did Theon do to him this time?
He's just gonna hate his smug face.
He exists.
I feel like people just hate Theon just for that reason.
He's going to walk up to him, hit him, and say, "This is for everything in my childhood," or something. Or your face annoyed me.
I mean, honestly, to be fair, I don't think people know what to do with Theon.
That is something that has come up for a Game of Kingdoms quite a bit.
I haven't read Game. I should read Game of Kingdoms.
You should.
What you guys should do is give me the link to Game of Kingdoms somewhere.
Very well.
All right, thank you. Kireina was wholeheartedly behind this decision and proceeded to get on with the dirty work herself. Not that it was especially taxing for her. He did give her one rule, though. Scare the dogs. Don't kill them. He had a soft spot for canines. And these dogs didn't know any better than their owners. As you know, a dog that was raised to be extremely vicious should be let out in the wild.
I mean, of course.
No.
A vicious dog should be let out into the wild. So
I mean, if Jon Snow from Rising Sun says it, it's true.
Look, yeah, Exactly.
Ba-
I have to agree with him.
Bad John.
If you don't agree with him, he'll sick Kireina on you.
Yeah, he'll make
I'll
Kireina.
kill her.
He'll make Kireina stomp you, literally.
I'll kill the shit out of her.
Good luck with that one. Okay,
Good luck avoiding that
Kireina-
Godzilla breath.
Yeah, that's what God,
Oh my
God damn
God,
those
come on.
Godzilla beams. We should check out that shack I spotted earlier. There might be more of them, she said almost impatiently. He checked his back to make sure his swords were still secured. Oh yeah, his two katanas. And checked his ankle for his dagger. All were present. I'm gonna go in quietly. We've made enough noise and mess to alert a town here, he said as he made his way down off her back and onto the destroyed earth below. All the witnesses of your existence are all here. We're back to nobody knowing about you, and I would like to keep it that way for as long as I can for now. Oh, so much for this. So much for the secret to be revealed.
Yep.
He patted her flank. Back up in the clouds with you. I'll be fine, and if I'm not, you'll sense it, won't ya? He said as he
Won't ya?
tried to soothe the anxious.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I'm imagining John in a Scottish accent now.
I like it. She huffed again. He'd worked out that was her way of showing him her annoyance, almost like a dog would. Sounded somewhat cute. Good job calling your dragon a dog. Fine. But if I sense trouble, I'm getting you out. I don't care who sees me, she said, and set off from the ground into the air with one big flap of her wings. Not even said bye, the cheeky sod. Wait, doesn't this dragon's wing flaps destroy forests and he's just standing at the base of it completely fine?
Yeah.
Oh, he's Jon Snow. Nothing affects him. The only
Making sure.
one that can beat him is Harold, Loki, James, Potter.
Yeah, he has
Yes.
he has two dragon steel katanas made in Japan.
Yes, sheathed on his
That
back.
Dragon Steel, which is better than Valyrian Steel.
Yeah, Valyrian
Honestly,
steel
I'm
is
over
nothing.
that part. It's the back sheath now that's annoying
Look,
the hell
man.
out of me.
It's a backsheath dual wield katanas made out of dragon steel, which is better than Valyrian steel. You have to say all of that every
Ugh.
time.
It physically hurts.
I love the story, I swear. Has he even used them yet?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Followed her quick ascent back into the clouds, back up into the clouds with his eyes. In the corner of his right eye, he noticed the plume of smoke that they'd spotted coming from the shack earlier. Thankfully, it was rather close to where he was right now, so he didn't have to traipse through this bloody forest for hours. He started walking in the direction of the smoke, climbing over a few trees in the process. She really doesn't know her own size, does she? Within 10 minutes of walking, he was just outside the shack. From the tree he was peeking around, there didn't seem to be anybody home. He circled around the building, noticing two horses tied up around the back of the shack, and something he really didn't want to see. Flayed corpses. Fresh by the looks of it, blood dripping onto the ground from when the body was hung like a butcher's wares. A little hungry there. Thinking of beef. A steak. He looked down and shook his head. Flaying had been outlawed in the North centuries ago when the Boltons bent their knees to Winterfell and agreed to abandon their practice of flaying their enemies. Seems like there were a few who hadn't heard the news. After circling the shack. Didn't he already circle the shack?
Yeah.
I feel like he circled the shack.
Yeah, he circled around the building, noticing two horses.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, like, he's referring to the time he circled the shack by mentioning that he circled the shack. Okay. And confirming there were two doors into the place, he threw a rock through the door that was wide open at the front. The aim was to draw some sort of movement inside, but there was nothing. Not a peep. With a deep breath, he darted across the front yard of the shack and pressed his back to the wall next to the front door. He steadied his breathing and closed his eyes to focus on any sounds that were coming from inside. He heard a shuffle, a small one, but it was a shuffle all the same.
No, it wasn't a shuffle. It was a shiffle.
Maybe it's a shuffle.
You gotta make sure to reiterate it.
Look, it was a shuffle all the same. If Jon Snow says it's a shuffle, he gets to say it as many times as he likes, all right?
It was a shuffle within a shuffle. Shuffled in the building, and I could hear it shuffle from outside.
Correct. I'm glad you agree with me. He pulled his dagger out and assumed a defensive stance. Oh, Master Miyamoto had always said the best form of defense was a good offense, good offense. But the situation he was in right now didn't seem like the best time to be running in like a banshee. Oh, so much for following the teachings of Master M.
Master M would be so disappointed.
Extremely disappointed. This is depressing. Well, all that time spent in Japan learning the ways of the Japanese and their super-powered sword skills. And he just abandons it within being seconds in the north. He slowly peeked around the corner of the doorway and into the front room. Nothing but a couple of tables and chairs, a lit fireplace, and a few discarded drinking horns. So he knows there are drinking horns, but he still thinks there's a window. Maybe it's possible that he meant the window is just like a hole in the wall that they just look out of.
It's possible.
I mean, that would be stupid because it's probably a wooden window.
That would be dumb to have in the north.
Yeah, because it would let the cold in.
Do they have good shutters to close it?
Yeah, like a hatch?
Yeah.
That would make sense. But, I mean, the guy didn't explain, so I'm just going to assume it's glass because I'm a jerk.
Honestly, I assume the same thing.
Looked up to check the ceiling for any movement. You could never be too sure. Master M had proved that one training session when he pounced on him from above inside his hall one morning. What? Master M likes to ambush
the
people?
rafters and pounced on John from behind.
Oh no, Master M. Which is exactly what John said.
What are you doing, Master M?
He couldn't believe it when the old man had landed on him.
Oh, God.
And then proceeded to show him how he'd even gone up there. Now John checked every ceiling of every room he entered. But he also knows how to do it. So, I mean, he can do some... John has learned the ways.
John has learned how to surprise ambush people from above.
No. Oh, no.
Let's see.
How much you want to bet
use
he's going to use that on one of his sisters?
Oh, God.
God damn. I'm not at all fond of this man.
I have a bad...
I am not fond of this.
Really? I'm sure you're insanely fond of this.
Oh. But what were you saying?
I have a very bad feeling about this. Why do I feel that Alice is going to show her appreciation?
No, come on.
Oh.
She's
Poor
for
Rob.
Red Roach. No, Red Roach. This is
Poor
Red
Red
Roach's
Roach.
girl. Come on.
I know.
Come
That's
on.
why I think it's going to happen.
Red Roach can't have nice things.
I bet you anything. If she gets with him, Red Roach is going to be happy for him.
Of course.
He doesn't
Yeah.
even get to feel angry about it.
Of course not. He's just too happy his brother's back. He can have anything.
The only one Red Roach is allowed to be angry at is Theon
Theon.
and Ned.
And Ned, yes.
And the cunt.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Thunder Cunt. Also known as Catelyn Stark, the Lady Cuntlin.
And I'm sure he's allowed to be angry with anyone in the South.
Yeah, that was Dan.
But not the royal family.
No, because John's going to get with Cersei.
What?
Cersei's not the royal
Nope, nope,
family.
nope. Sorry, brain fart.
Hey, Dad. Let's point out the fact that you got confused there for a little while before resuming the story.
Nope,
How did you
John's gonna
feel
get
when
with
they-
Elia.
All right, calm down.
No,
He's gonna steal his stepmom from under his father's nose.
and then he's gonna bring back Lyanna.
Oh,
Oh no!
She was never dead. She was
look
just
at me,
an echo.
father. These were your wives. They're now mine.
And this
I
was
implore
your
you to
throne.
reconsider.
Oh god.
I implore you to reconsider.
Okay.
I should have these like ready to use. I should keep them up all the time. Okay, where were we? Something about checking. Okay. Yeah, because you know the jumping part.
Yeah.
Master M is a pervert. It wasn't a big shack. Clearly
That's what
it
he
was-
uses it for, to spy on women in the baths.
Hell yeah. Wait, no, that's bad.
So Master M is
Sorry.
now Jiraiya.
Yeah. Yes. No, he's hyposi.
Oh, that dude gropes women and takes their underwear.
Hmm.
Clearly, it was an old hunting shack, but it was still a nice one. Made up of a combination of wood and brick. Even had its own brick fireplace. Oh, so that's why there was a fireplace.
This is more than a shack at this
Yeah, like,
point.
if something's made out of bricks, it's a house.
Yeah.
Even Hagrid doesn't have a brick. Actually, why doesn't Hagrid have a brick house?
Because he has to be shown as very poor, no matter that magic can make shit.
All he has to do would be like, hey, headmaster, could you make me a brick house?
Honestly, Dumbledore could probably make a mansion within a day.
Like,
Reminds me of the Super Carlin Brothers video. Their theory that Hagrid is actually super rich.
he just doesn't like to display it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the dude. Yeah, you're right. The dude's got. He's betting things in the bar, and he gets a dragon egg. That's got to be some kind of higher roller bid or like higher
Also,
roller place.
he's worked at Hogwarts for what, 50 years? What does he spend it on?
Yeah.
Nothing.
He started working at Hogwarts when he was 13. When he got expelled.
And I think he still has. I think he would have access to the house elves in Hogwarts for meals and
use-
stuff, even in
Yeah,
the summer.
And use them as workforces.
And then he takes care of magical creatures in the forest who probably shed body parts all the time that are worth a fortune.
Yeah. Hagrid is secretly loaded.
I mean, I can see it. Being the gameskeeper, the keeper of the keys, must be a freaking lucrative job now that I think about it.
Probably is. Jiraiya is an M. Why else would he let the women catch an... Oh, masochist? Yeah, most likely.
I mean, he snuck a peek on Tsunade. You have to be a masochist to do that.
He's very crazy. Okay, fireplace. There were 4 doors in the room, one on each wall. The first door he just walked through, and the one directly opposite him was the back door to where the horses were tied up. The door to his immediate left was cracked. His immediate left was cracked open. Wait, if there's a door on each wall, why would you need to say immediate left? It's the only door there.
Because everyone in the audience is stupid. You have to reiterate stuff.
He probably does spend it a lot on magical creatures, but I don't. He probably spent a bit on his blast-ended Scroots, but like he literally won the dragon egg, so he didn't lose anything.
He bought a Cerberus. That's got to be expensive.
Did he win it? Did he buy it though?
Yeah. They're native to
No.
Greece. He had to have bought it.
He won it off a Greek chap in a pub.
Fluffy?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You make me want to look it up, but I'm pretty sure he didn't buy it.
Honestly, the fact that he's winning all of these high tier magical creatures points to Zero being right that he's at the high roller table.
Because he got the dragon egg in the Hog's Head pub,
Is that yeah?
but he won Fluffy off a Greek chap in a pub.
So the dude's always in pubs,
Yes.
which makes sense because you can make a lot of money in drinking games because you never lose because you're a giant,
Yes.
part giant. But yeah. Anyway, back to the story. Quickly peeked through it. Nothing but bedrolls laid across a wooden floor. A couple lanterns and what looked like the only bed that was in this place. He could only see forwards through the gap, so he was wary about walking in. What he planned would alert anybody in the building, but stop him from getting his throat sliced. So with his mind made up, he kicked the door as hard as he could. It swung wide open and slammed against the wall behind it with a mighty thud. Quick look confirmed that the room was empty, and as quick as a cat, he darted across the main room and pressed his back to the wall next to the final door, in the hopes of catching someone off guard.
You're not catching anyone off guard after that.
Yeah, like if I heard a door slam in my house right now, I would be ready for a fight.
I have 5 weapons around me at the moment.
I don't have 5 weapons around me. I have a rubber band.
I'd be very ready. Hell, nope. I've got more like 7. I have 5 knives alone on my table right now.
You have 5 knives on your table.
Nope. It's 6. 2 of them are throwing knives in the same sheath.
I'm gonna have to ask you to take pictures of these and just put them in the media page because I want to see these knives and make fun of you.
Why would you make fun of me for this?
I don't know. Why wouldn't
Because we always make fun of you.
It's not right.
Do I need... I mean, look. You know what's also not right?
You?
Oh, that's very mean. See, this is why I make fun of you.
Look who's talking.
Thing is, how much money does a wizard even need? Honestly, none. You don't even need money for food. You don't even need money for taxes. You can just live wherever you want on whatever patch of land you want. You can use your magic to, knowledge and herbology to make crops, and you can use your magic to make it so that they're always being watered and given enough sun. And you can use space magic to make massive rooms capable of sustaining you, like massive farm rooms. You do crazy shit with magic.
0, it is posted.
There's no real need of an economy with magic involved.
At
least not with Harry Potter magic.
Exactly. I mean, sure, you cannot make gold, but what's the point of gold if you can just create all your basic needs without it? Anyway, he calmed his breathing again and listened closely for any movement from the last room. Another shuffle and additionally muffled speech, one higher pitched compared to the other one. A man and a woman, prisoners or hostiles. Was this a trick? He looked down at the doorknob and waited for it to turn. When he looked at it, he realized something. The door was bolted. Bolted, get it? And locked from the outside.
He's just now realized.
What? Oh yeah, he just realized there was a bolt on the door. Weasley's being poor is either by choice or a plot hole. It's like JK wanted a poor family and forgot all the members were reality-altering demigods. I mean, yeah. You gotta remember this story was initially made for children.
Yeah.
And the lesson... I don't know who has that sound. It's probably Dylan.
Yeah, it's Dylan.
Why would you blame me?
Because I see your icon lighting up every time it happens.
Exactly.
Lies.
Oh, go in silent mode, please. It's killing me. It's funny because my phone is not on silent. I'll do that too.
Also, the fact that
You don't have to worry about anything, Zero.
Bill works as a curse breaker for for Green Gots, and Charlie works as a dragon handler. How are those not lucrative jobs?
I mean, they probably are. But, by the way, Ryle, I noticed what you said. Don't think I didn't hear that, you little jerk. But, I think, if I remember right, didn't she attribute it to them not managing their money correctly?
Yeah, that was her explanation. Yes,
It's a horrible explanation.
A horrible explanation, obviously, but
it actually can happen though.
oh yeah, it's something you see in real life. You know, all these celebrities slash athletes, etc. They get their money and they instantly spend it all and become poor in the late run, in the long
As
run.
soon as they stop making money, they drop off the wealthy charts. Because
That's why they now have people advising them how to spend their money. Like the associations, especially in the athlete department, they have guys to tell these folks, just, bro, take this money and invest it, save it, do something with it, don't spend it all.
it's the same as when someone wins the lottery and a few months later they're bankrupt.
Yeah, like this whole mindset of having 5 mansions, 3 Lamborghinis, a helicopter.
I want it.
If you want it,
I mean,
And you're the type of person that would go bankrupt after winning the lottery.
No, I said I want it, not that I'm stupid.
All I want is enough to live comfortably.
The problem is, what are we spending it on?
I honestly probably wouldn't buy 3 cars and a helicopter. I have other hobbies I meant
the Weasleys.
Yeah, why would they spend it on? I have no clue.
Well, they have had to put 7 kids through Hogwarts.
Yeah, but
Hogwarts was free.
They also always use
Hogwarts is free, but J.K. Rowling only said that at a later point.
I know, but yeah, like this is what's confusing. She says that at a later point, except the books cost money.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what to think of that.
I do. J.K. Rowling has no plot consistency.
Hello, Balls.
Hello, Balls.
That's the only explanation.
They're super crap with money, though. When they won 1,000 galleon, they immediately went on holiday. That's fair.
They did not win 1,000. They won 700.
Close enough.
The Weasley twins, however, were smart with 1,000 galleons that Harry gave them.
Yep, they created a business and built wealth. Literally built wealth.
They also were a bit of jerks, considering we never hear that they gave Harry a share in the company. That's
Harry did. That wasn't an investment that Harry made. It was literally him gifting it to them.
Yes, but even if he did, it would have been the decent thing to do for them to have made him a shareholder.
They told him that he doesn't have to pay in their shop.
Yes, and Harry's going to take advantage of that.
I mean, that's literally that's basically giving him a share of the shop. So,
yeah, is it?
I think the Weasleys were just poured as a contrast to the Malfoys, who are rich and evil.
Yeah,
there's a great contrast.
All right, where were we? Prisoners are hostile. Was this a trick?
The door was bolted and locked from the outside. That's where we were.
Yeah.
Yes, this is definitely a trick, Harry. Not Harry.
John.
This is John.
This isn't okay. This is still John.
Harold comes later.
This was 95% sure these were prisoners now.
95%. That's impressively stupid.
Imagine living in Westeros where they don't really teach this kind of math.
Just
John, my boy.
Please.
Why?
When did you ascend to modern mathematics? He loudly banged on the door twice with his fist and shouted, "Anybody in there?" He asked. What?
We don't really know the advancement of mathematics in Westeros.
We know it well enough.
Not really, because
He literally knows that there are people in there. He's already heard them.
Yeah, but on the note of mathematics, how to explain this is the progression of mathematics also would result in the progression of physics.
Yeah.
A simple consequence right there. Newton was a mathematician and a physicist.
He was a physicist because he was a mathematician.
Right. You end up seeing these patterns in the world and writing up formulas for them and testing them out. If you're a mathematician, like it starts like that. That's how that's how physics was created in the first place.
Yeah.
So if they're at this point here and random dude Jon Snow is saying 95% when in canon we've never seen. Have you seen percent in canon?
Nope.
I can't remember seeing it. This is technically modern words being thrown in here, which I
Do you want
understand.
me to check?
If you'd like, it'd be nice. I could be wrong. Anybody in there? He asked. The muffled shouting and almost sobbing from the pair of voices almost confirmed his belief that these weren't hostile. Almost. Bro, the door is bolted.
Door is
Locked from-
bolted. They're almost sobbing.
Almost sobbing. You saw
What
a
is
bunch of
causing
flayed
your
corpses.
doubt?
one
The
of them
guy
is
saw
severely
flayed corpses.
injured.
Dude, he came in seeing flayed corpses outside, and they're crying, and he's like, "Oh, they're probably lying."
Yes.
They probably aren't hostile.
Make huge castles. That takes math. A certain amount, geometry at the very least.
But can you be
Though,
sure?
to be fair, most of those castles were built centuries ago.
Correct.
And in the case of some of the older castles, millennia ago.
Honestly, the biggest ones, the Erie, Harrenhal, those would take enormous amounts of math to do them right.
There.
Like Zero said, it's still just geometry for those.
Geometry does not translate into percentages. They had math good enough to calculate the circumference of the Earth thousands of years ago. They calculated the circumference of the Earth?
Someone look up when percentages started being used in math.
You do it.
Busy. I'm posting all my knives that you asked for.
That's fair. I haven't looked yet because I have two. Both of my screens are being used right now.
So the word percent doesn't appear anywhere in the 5 box. Neither
What
does
about the symbol percent?
Neither does the symbol.
What about how do you call them? Parts per 20, parts per 30, etc. Because that's what a percent is. Parts per 100. Like something along the lines of they would say something like that, but would be referring to 100 or 20 or any random number because they use words like score. Score is like what, 20?
Yeah, score is 20.
Yeah, so like part of
They
a
don't
score.
they don't even contain the word per.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
And back, I'm gonna break the door open, he said as the pair went quiet. Inside went quiet. The bolt on the door wasn't the thickest thing in the world. Why didn't he just unlock the door?
Yeah.
I
John.
looked around the room in the hopes of finding a key, but the chances were there was probably melting at the bottom of Kireina's stomach at them. Oh. That makes a lot
Pretty
more sense.
sure bolt locks don't need keys.
I think
It's
the bolt
literally
is easy.
sliding a bolt.
I mean, it's bolted and locked.
Okay.
Yeah, I got confused by that too at the start. Like I saw this and I was like, wait, what? And I looked up. He unsheathed one of his blades. Oh, he's using the sword.
He's using the dragon steel.
He's using one sword. He doesn't need both right now. He's this is too easy for him. And lined it up on the small gap between the door frame and the door. He heard whimpers from within when his blade slid through and emerged on the inside of the locked room. With a lift and quick downward swing, he managed to shear the old bolt on the door. He pulled his sword back, but still he pulled his sword back, but still kept it ready for when he opened the door. This could still be all some sick, twisted game being played on him. With his free hand, he twisted the door handle and pushed the door open. Before anybody could jump him, he leaped back. He leapt backwards and readied his blade at the other side of the room. Wait, what? He left the entire length of the room? And I wish I was that strong. Have the money economy, I guarantee they use some sort of X per Y arrangement and trade it. There. Alright, that's a good point.
Yeah.
They probably have some kind of a X per Y, you're right. That's why I tried to look for any X per Y. It doesn't necessarily have to be per 100. Whimpering and mumbling were much louder now that the door was open, but what he noticed even more was the smell. I remember that smell that gave the room extra flavor.
What I want to know, how that door was holding the smell back.
You know?
If sound is getting through, he should have been getting at least some of the smell.
No, you're right. You're right. It's a shack. It's a shack made out of old doors and crap.
Wait, they literally said earlier in the chapter that it was leaking into the rest of the shack.
That too. You're right.
Yeah. So
hey, more inconsistency from the author.
Yay!
Yay!
I mean. Were we expecting anything different?
No,
he
lives up to his name.
Yeah.
Gherkin full of errors.
At least he's well aware of it.
I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest. I'm sad. This is sad.
You're just sad.
Hello, he shouted from across the room, still waiting for the ambush. He wrinkled his nose in an attempt to fight the strong odor. His greeting was met with even louder cries. A woman's voice attempting to say something, but struggling with it. He slowly approached the room. The wall behind the door had nobody behind it, since it was laid flush against it. I'm putting my weapon down, and I'm coming in, he said as he made an effort to make the steel of his sword being placed on the floor as loud as he could. He grabbed his dagger and approached the room in the hopes somebody went for an easy kill on an unarmed man. Or you're going over the top for something that is obvious. Also, so much for the katana, right? He just used it to cut a lock. Inside, he found lawyer Goblin just finger railing Alice from behind.
Oh
no!
Oh no! Why'd you have to do my boy lawyer Goblin just finger that way?
Another Flitwick will be born into a Song of Ice and Fire. Reborn into the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, oh my God, Flitwick. Oh.
He's not necessarily half goblin, he just has goblin blood.
Think of the name though, Flitwick. You know, wet your wick. One's wit is flicking.
No, it's flicking something all right.
Watcher says bye. Goodbye, Watcher.
Bye.
I think we're getting we're halfway through the chapter. I think we'll stop it at some point, probably at the end of this.
At the end of John's POV.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want everybody staying
I'm
up all
expecting
night.
a Ned POV after this.
Thank God I don't have to do that.
Ooh, ha, ha, ha.
He peered around the doorframe and inside towards the other end of the unlocked room. Clearly a storage room. Boxes, shelves, and what have you spread around it. Two people, a man and a woman, gagged at the mouth and tied to a chair each. The man was older looking than the woman, who looked almost his age. They were both looking at him with wide eyes. He had one last look to see if they were armed before walking up to them and taking their gags off. The
They
girl
are bound
cried.
and gagged. And he checks to see if they're armed.
What? I was gonna say that when I was done with this sentence. You're like, all right, no, we got to point this out. Yeah, you're right. They were bound and gagged at the mouth and tied to a chair. Literally, all they could do was bash him in the head with their own headbutt.
I think, to be fair, what he's trying to do here is remember the scene with Urine when he came across also bound people and was ambushed the moment he tried to help them.
You know what?
Yeah, that is fair. I had forgotten about that.
I had also forgotten about that. This is why you're here, buddy. You have incredible memories.
John is actually showing growth here then.
Oh my god.
Is he? Is he really?
Character growth?
Yes.
Character progress. Whoa. Whoa,
For
no,
the
no.
first time?
Note the time.
John has
1:57:52.
learned from his mistake.
Yes. By the 2-hour mark, near the 2-hour mark in this video, we have seen Durkin, full of errors, ascend. He has learned
The
something.
2-hour mark of the 12th video is when we finally see some character growth.
That's
many hours of reading, and he's getting better.
For John, we saw some character growth from Ned a while ago when he became the awakened wolf.
Of course, yes.
and we always see character growth from the Thundercunt.
She just gets angrier.
She just gets punchier.
And I'm sure there will be character growth for Red Roach.
Flitwick is just the last name given to any goblin half-breed. I don't know about that.
Flitwick is the goblin bastard name.
Oh, okay. Into some character development. Just look at this confusion here. Character development. What?
I didn't come for the character development.
They were both looking at him with wide eyes. He had one last look to see if... Okay, we did this part. The man to his left looked at him like
You forgot the
didn't know
girl
what
was crying.
Yeah, the girl was crying the moment he took them off. By the way, they're all looking. He looked at
Yes.
him. He looked at him. He looked at him. They looked almost his age. He's looking. Older looking. This pains my mind. This is how people stop reading stories. They just keep seeing the same word over and over, and they're like, why didn't this dude just, like, put variety in his vocabulary? Is that food?
It's asking about the character development.
I think so. I think you can eat that.
Hey, can you eat
Maybe.
character development?
I can. The man to his, okay. Did Ramsey send you? He asked with a hoarse voice. He looked battered and bruised, a couple of missing teeth, and a nose caked in dry blood. He shook his head as he checked the girl. Both of them looked like they'd seen better days, but there was a clear difference between the pair when comparing the treatment of the two. The girl was shaking like a leaf, tears in her wide, bloodshot eyes, and her hair was disheveled. The man had clearly taken the brunt of the physical torture. He lifted his dagger to cut her binds, both of them flinching when he revealed it. They both calmed a little bit when he started cutting at the ropes around the girl's feet. By the way, rookie mistake, cutting at the ropes.
You saw ropes. You don't.
Even sawing. Sawing is a form of cutting. I mean, obviously, it exists specifically for cutting with more effort. You don't cut at something. You cut something.
True.
I don't know who that is, he said as he broke through the rope around her feet and moved on to the one tied around her stomach. If he was one of those cunts with the dogs, then he's dead, he said as he finished cutting the second rope. See? Right here. Cutting the second rope. He looked at the man, who looked a little less wary than before. They're all dead, he finished as he went
I'm
around the back of the
sorry.
chair. What's up?
Harrion should not be looking less weary right now. He should be super mistrustful of John.
Yeah, like
Really?
this could be another trick. Because we've seen Ramsey do that trick.
Yeah.
And he's probably done it already to this guy since it's been 2 weeks.
Nah, he
It's
was
possible that he
busy.
didn't do it.
He was busy with his small punishments. He didn't go to the mind stuff yet, I think.
Maybe he did it at this. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming that he did it. It could be that he didn't do it.
I mean,
Depends
even
on how sharp
without
that is.
Ramsey doing the mind tricks, he's been tortured for 2 weeks. And some guy he doesn't know has just entered the room claiming to have killed his torturer. That's not something you're going to trust right away.
No.
That's fair. Yeah, see? I mean, he said a little less wary. I mean, he's still, I don't know. He finished as he went around the back of the chair to cut the final rope around the girl's wrists. The man turned his neck and kept his eyes glued on him throughout the whole process. The girl got up from her chair on wobbly legs and started rubbing her wrist. Are you sure? Did you do it? Please, I need to know they're gone, she asked as she started to tremble with fear. She looked over her shoulder to the open door. Lady, you should be running to your brother and trying to release him.
Yeah.
This. So, I'm gonna. You remember the old chapters when Rhaegar would be talking about not wanting to force his daughters into marriage?
Yeah.
And I told you it screamed of like some kind of skewed sense of justice. I
Yeah.
don't think this dude understands how women work.
Very much.
I agree.
So they're supposed to be strong, independent, blah blah blah. But at the same time, this one, whose brother has been tortured for 12 days,
In front of her, no less.
in
she's
front
been
of her,
threatened with rape.
yes, all she does, and he's the brother who told her not to say anything to protect her. And she gets off on her wobbly legs and starts rubbing her wrist because she's afraid. Instead of, running to the brother who basically defended her,
And trying to
defended her
get
the entire
the
time.
bindings off of him.
All this guy can do is make the woman tremble in fear. Okay, sure. Anyway, I'm positive. There were 6 of them and a bunch of dogs. The hounds fled, but the men are most definitely dead. Very dead, he said as he worked on the ropes around the man. The girl seemed to deflate when he said that, like a pressure being lifted, a steadying breath easing the state that she was in. The man's binds were finally free, and he had to help him to his feet as he seemed to struggle somewhat. The girl came across and took over helping the men. Oh, now you come. They seemed familial. Either that or they were good friends or even lovers. All right. This weird mindset, like they seem familiar and familial, and the sentence right afterwards is lovers. Okay.
He's
Targaryen
already got
mindset.
that Targaryen mindset, I guess.
You read my mind, man. Oh, crap. Stepped back towards the door and checked to see if the coast was still clear. They wouldn't be staying here much longer. The horse's round back would rectify that. He turned around. What are your names? He asked as the pair of them slowly made the way out of the stench-riddled room. He closed the door behind them as they passed through in the hopes of locking away forever. Bro, set the entire place on fire. They beelined towards the table, which had a few drinking horns, bits of cheese, and hard bread left on it. The man turned around, looked at him, and then looked at the girl, who still looked a little worried. Okay. He looked at him, then looked at the girl, who still looked a little worried. No, I know I'm sounding like a broken record at this point, but
The man turned around and glanced between him and the girl, who still looked a little worried.
oh,
Just change one word. Like, just change one little bit, and it fixes the sentence.
Let's see how fast I get over what happened the last 2 weeks.
oh god. By the way, Dylan, this is how I read stories. Like, you send me something to read, this is literally how I read it. I stop at a sentence and I'm like, this looks stupid. I don't want to read this.
You got through Vigilantes? We're actually revising that because we think there's a lot wrong with it.
Okay, I have... Okay, my system is the idea good? How good is the idea? If the idea is great, then I'll forgive some things. If the idea is good, but there's too many errors, my interest drops. If the errors can keep going, I stop immediately.
Okay.
The only reason you've kept going on this is the stream.
Yeah, like I would have tapped out by chapter 3, to be honest with you. And even chapter 3 is a bit much. The man nodded his head at him. Wait, no. Understandable given this situation. The man nodded his head at him. You first. What's your name? He asked as he wolfed down some cheese before glugging whatever was left in the horn he'd picked up. Should he lie? There was no reason to, he realized. Comma here. Remove the italics. John, he said as he headed towards the back door and opened it. He turned back and picked up and sheathed his katana that he'd placed down earlier. John, what? The girl asked as she drunk and ate at a slower pace than the man. Jon Snow, he finished as he grabbed the shovel that was leant against the wall next to the door. He wasn't gonna leave these flayed bodies unburied. They slowly followed him out the back door and leant against the wall. They watched him dig 2 holes for the 2 bodies that were hung up near them. He says Jon Snow, and they just like watch him dig holes. Imagine the scene setting for this. Jon Snow, as in Lord Stark's son? The man said as Jon slammed the shovel into the ground a little harder at the mention of that man. Bro, chill. He's still angry. He hasn't seen him in years.
The use of that man reminds me of Sasuke.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna kill that man. My name is Sasuke. He huffed out. The one and only, he said as he worked as quickly as he could with the hole. He didn't expect to find himself digging graves today, but he supposed that was just life, kicking you in the dick 1 minute and then sucking it the next.
What?
No. This okay. I'll be honest.
What?
It's copying. Just give me a moment. I'm just gonna go to the dumpster fire channel.
That's. I don't know what to say to that.
kicking you in the dick 1 minute and then sucking it the same.
Putting the oddness of the phrase aside,
That doesn't sound pleasant.
it doesn't
anyway.
even fit the context of the situation.
Doesn't fit the context, but Dylan, some people like that.
No,
Right?
don't say that.
No, some people like that.
I mean,
Yes, and some people have a hut fetish.
Yes. For some reason, this is making me want to play Skyrim. Yeah, in Skyrim, you can dual wield swords and kill dragons and destroy people left and right.
You play
So I
Skyrim,
see
you
why
should
you
use a modded version.
I mean, when you say Skyrim, you immediately assume it's modded.
I've only
No.
ever played on PS3,
Fancy you having a PS3.
so
and
no
shit.
mods for me.
You plebeian.
Okay,
Commoner. Peasant.
you two. What are your names since I've just revealed myself? He asked as he finished the first grave and started on the second.
Wait, wouldn't Harrison and Alice have visited Winterfell before as...
Yes.
I thought so.
Because
My
Ned
name is
Stark
Harry.
regularly invites his bannermen to Winterfell to eat with him and discuss the kingdom.
Which is a smart thing to do. It also establishes closer connections.
Right. Plus, the Karstarks are related to the Starks.
Yeah, they are the Starks of Carhold.
That didn't really stop Rob from decapitating him.
Look, Rob is kind of Rob. Sorry, Red Roach.
I mean,
I don't like him all that much. I understand why he was like the way he was because he's young and he doesn't really think.
he was trying to emulate Ned.
He didn't realize that his
And-
father isn't the shining example that he thought he was.
Yeah, the image of Ned that he was trying to live up to was too much for anyone to live up to. And so he naturally failed.
Yeah, like it wasn't even real.
Yeah. Ned willingly dishonored himself to protect his family.
Pretty much. Arian and Alice, those names ring a bell, but he couldn't quite put his finger on it. Back to being stupid. Well, it's nice to meet the pair of you. Wish it was under more agreeable circumstances, he said as he ripped the soil apart with his shovel. Alice chuckled and so did Harry. And bro, you guys just came out of a 12-day torture fest. You wouldn't be
They're
laughing.
already over it.
I told you. Let's look how fast I get over it.
God damn it. It wasn't even that long since you said that.
What did you expect from Dirk?
I met you 10 years ago, John. Oh, there it is. When my father came to Winterfell for a visit and brought me along with him. I danced with you at the welcome feast. Don't you remember?
It's
Yeah.
setting it up. It's setting it up.
Oh no, she danced with him. No.
Oh no! She's going to
on.
show her gratitude to the boy she once danced with.
She probably had a crush on him when she was younger.
Who the hell
Red
is Red
Roach is Rob's unsullied name.
We came up with an unsullied name for Rob. I literally forgot why we did it.
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and watch the last
Wasn't it
week of
Red-
stream.
I remember we did it because he never does anything on his own, and John is always taking away his spotlight, or even Ned.
Oh yeah, because I said he was chopping his balls off or something, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, because
Because he
it
never
was when
does
he was
anything.
about to punch Theon, and
Oh,
Ned
yeah, he
stopped
was-
him.
That's right. Red Roach. Red Roach, ladies and gentlemen. He's getting blue balled as we speak.
NTR
I
incoming.
mean, he doesn't have any balls anymore. He's unsullied.
That's right. He's
So he'll be
getting
grateful for John for giving him an heir.
hell yeah. His eyes went wide when he looked back at them. Alice, Alice Karstark and Lord Harrion, he said, to which the pair confirmed
Lord?
with a nod.
He's not
The
a
son of-
lord. He's the heir.
I mean, you still call him Lord, right?
Yeah.
You call Red Roach Lord.
And didn't John say a lot of times in the story that lords suck?
Yeah. It doesn't make sense for this John to call him Lord.
Look, there's no sense in this story, all right?
True.
Yeah, I know.
Logic left the window long ago.
Yeah, the window that was in the shack. He shook his head and finished off with the second hole. Then he chuckled. Small world, he said as he walked towards the two hanging bodies. The mood instantly changed when he looked upon their remains. Kireina's quick death was a mercy for what? Their quick death by Kireina. I literally just thought how like the Kireina died.
Kireina didn't die.
They deserved a whole lot worse. A whole lot. As opposed to a part lot. The two Karstarks looked down at the ground, almost in respect, as he cut the two bodies down. Almost. These are your
Almost.
guards. These are your
Wow.
literal guards who gave their lives for you. Like, almost in respect.
Oh, God.
He ran into the shack and emerged back outside with two white sheets he found in the bedchambers. He wrapped both of the bodies in a sheet each and gently picked them up and placed them in each one of their respected graves. I think he means respective, but whatever. He shoveled dirt over the top of them and closed his eyes for a few seconds after, in respect. They'd be left in unmarked graves, but at least they'd been returned to the earth instead of being left out to dry like somebody's watch clothes. I'm not sure about this, but wouldn't you return the bodies of the guards to their families? Wouldn't you at least try to
Yeah.
identify the guards?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. In the attempt to make John look like a good guy, he essentially just made it so that two families will not be told where their, the wife slash dad slash uncle's
He doesn't
body
want
is.
to pay him compensation.
Your father was lost. We couldn't find him. Buried in a fucking unmarked grave in the
Buried
middle
in
of
an
nowhere.
unmarked grave outside a hunting hat cabin.
Yeah. He returned to the two Karstarks and placed the shovel back where he'd gotten it from in the first place. He turned to them and assessed them both now that they were in broad daylight. Are you able enough to ride one of these horses? He asked the pair, mainly looking at Harrion, who looked a lot worse than Alice.
No, duh.
Now that
If
we
he doesn't look worse than Alice, then that's not okay.
both looked at each other and seemed to come to an agreement without even speaking. Yeah, we should be all right. Me and Alice will share. She'll have to take the reins. Hey, he said reins right.
Me and Alice.
I know, Alice and I. This is the Lord saying me and Alice. You're right. He'll give John a... Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
I can't handle this. You'll have to take the reins. Bloody cunts messed up my hands with what they were doing to me, Arian said as John nodded. He looked around as he prepared the horses for their journey. If push came to shove, he'd have to introduce them to Kireina if the situation became dire. But for now, they'd have to rely on horses. I like that he says this, and immediately after, he says a question that makes it so that they will immediately become suspicious of him.
I mean,
You'd have to introduce them to Kireina. Do you have any idea where we are? Bro.
it is
They will
conceivable that he's been lost in the woods.
He just so happened to be lost in the woods and just like finds them and then doesn't know where he is.
It's a huge stretch, but
No,
It's there.
Impossible.
it's not a huge stretch. It's an impossible stretch considering how long he's been missing.
Yeah, exactly.
that does exist.
And the
Right.
high
I
quality
was
shit
talking
he's
the
wearing.
situation in a vacuum is
That's fair.
possible.
He walked over to the horses. Oh, wait, no, I didn't ask. Do you have a rough idea where we are? He asked. He walked over to the horses and closed his eyes while he had his back to the pair of them and attempted to reach out to Kireina. She wasn't far away, but he didn't know if she'd be able to hear his thoughts from where she was. Can you spot any landmarks, Kireina? He asked her through their bond. I like how they don't question it. They don't question that he doesn't know where they are. I know at one point we stopped near a river west of here. When we were apprehended, we weren't far from the Dreadfort, according to our escorts. Ramsay and his men traveled south with us. I know that at least, Alice said. We had to go around the Sheep's Head Hills, mainly to avoid Hornswood scouts, Harrion added. Is everything okay? Are you hurt? Kireina asked almost frantically. Calm down, lady. Can't you feel his emotions? I do remember the bond allowed for emotions.
Yeah.
Should be very calm right now. He finished with the first horse and moved to the next one. Both of the stallions seemed very keen to be away from this place. He couldn't blame them.
I'm
Yes, I'm
surprised
okay.
the stallions didn't freak out with the dragon being nearby.
Yeah, like, it just flew around, destroyed half a forest, killed all the guys. They screamed to their deaths.
The stallion sort of, forgot.
Oh, no.
Dirk kind of forgot that the stallions were there. So the stallions kind of forgot that a dragon had been nearby.
You're right. I've got a couple of people that needed help, and I'm gonna need some sort of direction to go in. Did you see any castles or anything? He asked. He was pretty sure their best bet was to head toward the Hornwood, but he wasn't exactly sure of the direction. The forest is too dense for me to pinpoint anything. You're probably going to have to go north, she replied. What?
Too dense for her to pinpoint anything, but she can land in it just fine.
Okay,
Of
too dense
course.
to pinpoint anything, but she saw the shack. She'd landed in the forest. And, I mean, castle wouldn't be in the forest. I mean, is Hornwood hidden by the forest?
I wouldn't
There would
think
be a
so.
massive clearing to show it.
It's hidden by the forest.
I mean,
Her bed's not
Proper
hidden
hidden.
now.
Proper hidden that a dragon can't see it.
the
did
only
say-
actual hidden keep we know of is Greywater Watch.
Exactly. That's the one in the swamp that moves.
Yeah.
Even then, a dragon should be able to find it. It just moves. It's not invisible.
Yeah, but like, this isn't even stated to be. Look, the dragon has amazing vision until it doesn't.
Yeah.
This is what I'm seeing here.
This is called nerfing characters for plot. Not a good
Yeah.
plot, but nonetheless.
Yeah, this should never be done. And I know because I do it sometimes, but I shouldn't do it.
No one should do this.
They're probably into Hornswood Forest, so heading northwest is probably the best idea. Probably. House Hornwood should welcome you, surely. Unless I've missed something since I've been away. He said as he finished with the second horse and turned to them with a quirked eyebrow. No, you haven't missed much, I'm afraid. Other than your father searching high and low for months looking for ya. And this one here becoming your sister-in-law soon. Harrion said as he struggled, but just about managed to mount his horse. I like how he just casually mentions that she's gonna be his sister-in-law.
Oh no, he's gonna cuck Rob on purpose.
Oh. Oh no.
Terrible. I don't think he's gonna do that.
I don't know.
He's not that evil.
He's not that evil.
Only if he gets only if he gets Red Roach's permission first.
Yes.
Oh God! Now I can see that happening.
Alice followed him up and sat at the front to take the reins. He kinda walked into the hole. Your father has been looking for you comment, he had to admit. He knew Lord Stark would have looked for him, but he hadn't thought it would become public knowledge about him leaving. He thought Lord Stark would have respected his choice when it came to leaving. But wait. How is looking for you not respecting your choice? Guy thought you ran away and were in danger. You were a literal child.
How old was he again? 14?
15 or 14 or something.
It's been 3 years. He's 17 now. He was 14.
Okay, then yeah, he was a child.
I like how this. I mean, I guess it could be consistent character that he just takes everything that Ned does and twists it into sounding like the most awful thing in existence. That could be it. Like, this is his character trait that's shown in the story.
It's his most defining character aside from "Are You My Mommy?"
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, I don't. It is like he's being consistent with the character, but the issue is the characterization is stupid in the first place.
Yes.
Is he gonna ask Catelyn, "Are you my mummy?"
He probably did that when he was still a small child.
He probably got slapped around. Yeah. Sister-in-law? He looked at the pair as he effortlessly mounted the red stallion. See, like, they have trouble getting on. Just about managed, but he's like, I just leap once and I'm already on top.
To be honest, they should have trouble getting on considering what they went through. And if you know how to get on a horse, it's not that hard if you're physically fit.
God, Sarah, no, why?
Oh, no.
Awful.
Oh, no.
It's just the saddle horse. No.
That's great.
Sister-in-law, he asked them as they slowly started trotting away from the murder shack this Ramsay'd like to call his home. Good place, a name for a place. The murder shack.
You know,
what?
The fact that she's not flinching from Jon after having been threatened with rape by so many men is a little weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
She should want to ride with her brother.
Wait, isn't she riding with her brother?
She is riding with her brother.
Oh. Okay.
I think that the comment
that was the whole point because Harrion can't hold the reins.
Yeah, I think this comment was made for like stealing her from Red Roach.
Yeah.
Alice, no, wait, no. Oh yeah, no. Okay, never mind. We did this. Alice nodded and smiled as both horses trotted away northbound. Me and your brother Rob are to wed. Me and Harrion. We're on our way back to Carhold after our visit to Winterfell to confirm the betrothal. That's when all this happened. She finished as her smile faltered slightly. This is her trauma.
Yep.
Not being able to smile.
As well. Like her smile faltered slightly. She's still smiling.
Yeah, she's still smiling.
This is what happens when you get 12 days of
watching your brother get mutilated because you refuse to let a group of men rape you.
I was going to say 2 words, like, after her stay at the rape resort, and I thought that was too much.
No, 0. That's not okay.
I know. Oh. That's why I hesitated. I like this name, Stabbing Cabin.
Stabbing Cabin.
It's much better than what I said. Forget I said it.
What all did he lose?
It's the Stabbing Cabin.
He lost some teeth, an earlobe, and some fingernails, right?
He lost
all of his fingernails and all of his toenails.
And then part of his ear and 4
Well,
teeth.
no, he only lost, all of them. Yeah.
He should still be able to grip the saddle. I mean, not the saddle, but the reins.
Bro.
It would hurt.
It would hurt like a bitch.
You should still be able to do it though.
Yeah, but like, you know, you have someone to do it for you. Why would you?
I wonder
Yeah.
what teeth he lost. Will he still have a pretty smile from just being the back teeth, or are they the front teeth?
I highly doubt.
It is a mix of teeth, so that he has a like one of those hillbilly pockmarked smiles.
Oh God!
There's no pattern to the missing teeth.
I mean, in a Song of Ice and Fire, you can get metal teeth, so he's fine. Just get some silver teeth. Get some bling in that mouth.
Sure.
Wear your
Yeah.
hair long so no one notices the ear.
Oh,
He's
God.
good. And the fingernails will grow back.
Eventually. Rob was betrothed. That was the first bit of news about his family he'd gotten in 3 years. He looked back at Alice, who now had her eyes looking ahead of them. She was a pretty lass, he had to admit. Proper northern girl for his brother. He was made up for him? What?
What the? Huh?
Maybe he's saying she's made for him?
Well,
I have no idea.
it's a proper northern girl for his brother after he, samples her and makes sure she's good.
Yeah, he's
I
the
mean,
king of the... He's the king.
he's
He can do whatever he
the
wants.
he's a prince.
Yeah.
He has the right of the first night.
Right.
Did that apply to the High Lords
Yes.
for the royalty?
Yep. I
Huh.
don't see why it wouldn't. I keep going.
Yes. Keep going.
If I keep
Up to
going,
you.
we'll have to finish the chapter. Look real quick here. Yeah, this is
There's
a while.
Yeah,
Dang.
I was expecting a Ned chapter, or a Ned POV.
I
Yeah,
think
well,
I noticed Red Roach's name, so I'm guessing they're gonna hook up with
They're
them.
gonna meet up with
Like, it's
the
still
rest
the
of the
same.
nation.
Exactly. Like they'll have the reunion.
Yeah,
Keep
And
going to the
now-
reunion.
But
He
not in
meets
this
up.
chapter.
He meets up with Rob, and Alice begs for permission to sleep with John.
Take her back to the Stabman cabin. I mean, she's fine with it, right? I mean, she's, all it did for her was like falter her smile slightly. She'll be okay.
Oh, John's gonna be a stabbing, all right.
Dear,
oh,
that's a double
no.
meaning. I like this name even more. Should I or shouldn't I? Maybe I should do a coin flip. I'll do a coin flip.
A coin
Should
flip.
I or should I not? This thing says I should. Ugh. Wait, I could have
Well,
lied
should
and said I
you?
shouldn't.
Too bad, you already told us the truth.
Alright, sure, whatever. Okay. Let me
I mean, is anyone here in a hurry or tired?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, but I figured maybe you wanted to get a little rest before going to work. Well, yeah, no, wait, no, it's Saturday night. Never mind.
I was about to say that's the
I'm
exact
stupid.
reason he
I'm
picked.
stupid. Forget it. I admit to being dumb.
I mean, if you're
It
tired
happens
of
to us
reading, maybe
all.
Myth could take over.
Oh, yeah, it's a good idea. Myth, you want to read?
All right.
Hey.
No. He can't take over. There are no lists for him to read, as is his specialty.
Look, man.
He needs some
I
variety.
don't want that specialty.
That is your specialty. It should
So,
be
like, wait, what you're saying is I don't want it. I don't want it. Lists are my queen.
You are my queen.
He doesn't want it. He never has.
Oh shit.
That should be part of your name now. That's going in your notes on Discord.
A few hours had passed since they had left Ramsey's house of nightmares. Conversation had been free-flowing. Harrion had soldiered on despite his clear discomfort due to his injuries, and they were making good time, he thought. What he didn't like was the fact that the sun was quite low in the sky now, and the oranges of the evening sky were starting to dim with every step they took.
The fact Harrion is talking is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you know how swollen his mouth would be and how much it would hurt?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's forgetting the fact that they were basically starved for 12 days, aside from being beaten. And then the first thing they did after leaving the room is eat and drink.
Yeah.
But they were fine going for a few hours.
Eat and drink. Did they chug the water and shit? I forget.
Yes. They glugged down the drinking horns.
Idiots. They would have thrown up.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, this dude doesn't know how to write people who haven't eaten in a while.
To be fair, people who haven't eaten in a while wouldn't know not to stuff themselves like that unless they've experienced it regularly.
Or, John's education should have covered it.
Yeah.
Had an education?
He didn't read it in a book, so he doesn't know.
Yeah. That's his education.
Don't they also get a slight education in battlefield medicine? In case?
No.
No?
I mean, aside from pressure on the wound.
I don't think that's ever actually stated what kind of battlefield education they get, aside from fighting.
I just had a galaxy brain thought.
Oh?
If John learns things from reading books, how did he learn to read? No book.
All right.
I also want to say
that mind-blowing thought, we might have to make camp soon. Carry on in the morning, he shouted over his shoulder as the pair of them following behind. Anything is better than being back in that place, Alice replied. Harrion grunted in agreement.
Very, very traumatized, these two.
Oh, yeah. Just grunting and replies.
Not
keeping to themselves, she could have barely whispered her answer.
Yeah, mumbling, and he's like, he didn't hear it.
There's smoke about 10 minutes north from where you are, Kireina whispered in the back of his mind. She'd stayed close to them throughout the entire journey, high up in the clouds. The world's best personal tracker she was.
I like how she goes from, unable to find anything to being the world's best personal tracker.
Yep. He really hoped that smoke wasn't another shack full of nut jobs. He'd dealt with plenty of them today. As promised, 10 minutes later, smoke plumes could be seen just ahead through the canopy of the forest. He slowed his pace down just a little, and Alice did the same with her horse. With their horse, not her horse. What's the matter, John? She asked, worry written all over her face. Harrion tapped her on the shoulder and pointed up into the trees. He'd obviously seen what John had seen too. How do we proceed? I'm not gonna be much use if this is a fight in front of us, but I'll fight if I have to, Harrion said. He slowly approached the edge of the forest and peeked out from in between the dense tree line. There wouldn't be another fight tonight. A castle loomed in the distance, nowhere near as big as Winterfell, but still a sight to behold.
Oh. Oh, God. How did the dragon not see? Ugh.
The dragon saw the smoke, but not the castle.
Uh,
Kireina, you have failed this fic.
fired.
Everyone in this has failed this fic. Even Ramsey, who at first was doing glorious.
This has to be Hornwood. For the love of God, be Hornwood. For the love of the gods, be Hornwood.
For a lot of the old gods, at the very least.
Yeah. He wanted to make sure they... Oh, look. He wanted to make sure they got to safety before he left. This unfortunate detour had cost him about a day. He could have been in Winterfell by now if it wasn't for this Ramsey cunt.
Oh my god. The entire... Like, we read the chapters before, they hyped him up all this time, and everybody was searching for them, and they couldn't find anything. And then he just... Literally,
just casually
all he
takes
was
care of him as an inconvenience.
He's
Super easy. Barely an
Not,
inconvenience.
not even him, his dragon did it. He
Yeah,
did
To be
like-
nothing.
honest, that makes sense. A dragon would not have any trouble with what Ramsey
Sure,
had
but like,
to bring.
he was a detour.
Yeah.
But then again, Ramsey also would not have fought a dragon head on.
Yeah, he would have run away. Correct.
Not with Ramsey. He tried to fight it head on.
Is that, Alice proclaimed as they moved up next to him. Hornwood Castle. Thank the gods, Harrion answered. Thank the gods indeed.
See, sometimes he thinks about it.
Not even I, in my biggest insanity moments, would try to fight a dragon head on.
Are you sure about that?
What if you were reincarnated into Skyrim?
Well, that's different. I'd have magic and shit. Then
The
I'd do
three of
it.
them. What?
I said then I'd do it.
Oh. The three of them slowly trotted out of the tree line and made a beeline toward the huge gates of the castle. Tree line, beeline.
C line, D line.
I like how you read it as I was highlighting it, because you knew I would fucking highlight it.
Yeah. Let's hope somebody is in, he said with a grin.
Ugh. Does he
This is
expect?
Why else would there be smoke rising from the castle?
Does
Wait,
he?
why?
act-
Can you say that word on YouTube? Which word?
Might be talking about cunt.
Yes, you can say cunt on YouTube.
I'm not monetized, so I can technically say whatever the hell I want. If I do eventually get monetized in the future, I will have to, zip my mouth shut when it comes to certain words. If I care about monetization, anyway.
I don't
Yeah.
think cunt's one of them though.
I'm not sure I should care or not. I think that word is definitely one of them.
But the fact that he thinks a castle would be completely abandoned at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope somebody is in, considering there's a goddamn fire in the damn castle.
Well, maybe he thinks it's invaded and someone has.
Yeah, Ramsey 2.0 Electric Boogaloo.
No,
Alice
this
just shook her head and smiled at him. Alice is feeling our pain here. The relief to the pair of them must have been immense. The castle walls loomed tall ahead of them. With very little fanfare, the front gates slowly rose and revealed two mounted knights heading straight for them. One of them was holding the banner of House Hornwood, a brown bull moose on a field of dark orange, an orange that almost matched the sky.
How do they know they're knights? Just because they're mounted in armor does not make them knights.
Especially in the north.
Yeah, where knights are few and far between.
And even then, what kind of castle opens its doors if they're shut like that? And Hornwood's a small castle. Why does it have fully mounted, armored people greeting random people at the door?
Yeah, like what should have happened is they would stop at the gate, and the dude on top of the gate will be like, "Who the hell are you?" And then they'll be like, "Bro, open the doors.
Declare your purpose here.
Declare your
Then
purpose."
John threatens him with his swords and gets let in to see the Lord of the Keep immediately.
Exactly. That's how it should go in the context of Rising Sun, because it's happened before.
No. John threatens him, and because he's a Northman, he will not open the door. And then John swings at the door with his dragon steel sword and cuts it off its hinges.
Yeah, I like that. Anyway. Wait, did you read this part?
I did not. Halt! One of the men shouted in a harsh tone. John and Alice stopped the horses in their tracks. State your business, the same guard who'd spoken to them asked, whilst eyeing up the three of them. One of the guards looked at him, and then just over his shoulder, no doubt at the two swords on his back. The two dragon steel swords that are better than Valyrian steel strapped to a back sheath.
No, that's not what I'm groaning about, actually. I'm groaning about the fact that he's actually looking at the swords like they're an uncommon occurrence.
Well, the shape of the swords would be uncommon.
He would only see the very... we don't know how the back sheath is done in this. He could see
the back sheaths. Look at this. Silence answers enough. Oh, shit.
Spends literal decades and most of their wealth building a castle, abandons it just because he saw a spider in his bedroom.
Oh, shit.
He looked at Alice and Harrion. They seemed to be struggling how to approach this. He decided to help out.
What? The heir. And
the heir of Carhold
is struggling to announce himself.
Struggling in a social situation.
Now,
I mean, with his...
had been focusing on the trauma of the torture and the fact that they're so silent and everything, then it might make sense.
Yeah, but he hasn't. Dirk hasn't been doing that.
No, instead they're completely fine, pretty much. He should be announcing himself. He's heir to one of the most powerful freaking houses in the north.
This is Lord Harrion Karstark, and this is Lady Alice Karstark. We request food, shelter, and access to one of your ravens, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, he said in his most superficial lord's voice he could muster. Alice just looked at him with an eyebrow quirked and a small grin on her face.
Oh, God.
God.
I want to say, he does not request medical attention.
Yep, no medical attention requested.
Harrion doesn't need medical attention. He's worthless. He's a guy.
And Alice is physically fine.
No, she shouldn't be. She hasn't eaten in 12 days.
That's fine, all right? Look, she's okay.
Yeah. She's got a small grin on her face. She's quirking her eyebrow. She's fine.
Yeah, she can walk it off. It's good. It's good.
It hurts.
I know. I like it when you hurt.
He turned back to the guard who was speaking to him and noticed the man's eyes had widened. It would seem this wouldn't be as difficult as he'd expected it to go. However, before he could open his mouth again, both guards were unsheathing their swords.
There we go. They would think they're imposters. Why would they think automatically that these are actually the heir and everything of Karstark?
Except you're wrong about that. I just peeked down here. I peeked down here, and you're already wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong, Dylan.
They think he's Snow.
There goes that idea.
That's literally Dylan right now. There goes that idea.
He quirked an eyebrow at the pair of guards. He could take them quite easily. But it
How
it
does
wouldn't
he
look
know
great
this?
if he did. It did end up causing more headache than it was worth.
How
It's
does he
super
know
easy,
this?
barely an inconvenience.
For all
Look,
he knows, these guys are ridiculously skilled.
Look, he destroyed everything in Japan.
He's never
all right?
faced a true challenge.
Yes, he's the most powerful man.
Oh, good
In
lord! I had a
Planetos.
horrible thought.
No, please don't share it.
He's gonna
No.
meet Jaime Lannister. He's gonna meet Sir Arthur Dane and beat him in a duel.
No, I'm not. No,
I already expect that to happen.
no. He's going to beat Sir Arthur, Barristan, and Jaime at the same time.
Oh. What about Oswell, Wint, and Gerald Hightower?
He doesn't matter. The author ain't gonna focus on them.
Yeah, the author probably doesn't care about those two.
I mean, they're skilled, but they're nobodies to this guy.
They're not main character. Like, okay, I wouldn't say main characters, but they're not important side characters. Okay, Jaime is a main character, but yeah.
Yes.
Barristan can be considered a main character.
Look at this comment.
I also require a large bed upon which I shall deflower my brother's future wife.
Yes, my lord.
Like, if he had added that, there would have been no protest.
No, I see your beautiful swords. You must be someone highly important. A bed awaits you in the Lord's solar.
Very bold of you to try and ransom Lord and Lady Karstark in person. Bit of a thick decision, but it gives us an easy job. I know a few lords who would like to make an example out of you. One of the guards sneered as they started to move closer to Alice and Harrion, almost like they thought they were protecting them. What do you mean? What does he mean by almost like? They clearly think they're protecting them.
I mean, he always uses this almost like, you know, a whole lot.
I need to point something out.
Up.
They say the lords want to make an example out of him. So does that mean they want to capture him alive?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know how
probably.
difficult it would be using a live blade to capture someone alive? The slightest mistake could end up with a fatal injury.
You like killing people.
But Dirk doesn't know this, so it doesn't matter.
There's much that Dirk does not know.
Honestly, if you want to use a sword to capture someone alive, keeping it in its sheath might allow it to be used as a blunt object.
Yeah, or you could just use the flat of the blade.
Yes, but that also has the risk that
Of breaking, yeah.
not just breaking in the heat of combat, you use edge alignment on instinct.
Oh, yeah, it's true, too.
Before Harrion or Alice could open their mouth to correct them, they have one singular mouth between them now.
Yes, that's
Oh, no.
they became a merged entity on the right over there.
Alabama music intensifies.
John was beating them to it. I see common sense isn't your strong spot. Use your fucking head next time before throwing accusations around. If I was ransoming them, wouldn't they be tied up or something? He said. The guards looked at the two Karstarks. Both of them showed just how annoyed they were with the pair of idiots in front of them.
Oh, God. God. Is this supposed to be good diplomacy? Good de-escalation of a situation?
He's the master of the escalation, all right?
I'm surprised he didn't break the guards' noses.
Both of the guards seemed to come to the same conclusion and sheathed their swords. One of them spoke up. Apologies. The castle and the surrounding area have been on high alert since Lord Hornwood had announced Lord and Lady Karstark had been kidnapped. That worked way too easy.
Oh, God.
Can't have been on that high of an alert. We walked right up to your castle gates unperturbed. You need better scouts, he said in an uninterested tone.
Oh, God.
John, you're not helping, Alice chided. He just grinned in response. Enough of all this. Are you gonna let us in or not? Fetch Lord Hallis. We've met once before. Anything to get me in there where a bath, some food, a maester, and a feather bed could be found. Harrigan exclaimed. It looked like it took the remaining energy in the man's body to raise his voice to the pair of dolts. The guards looked at each other before riding past the three of them, back towards the castle gates. When did they get behind them?
They didn't. They have teleported a la Season 8.
Look, they teleported behind them just so that they could ride past them because it would look cool. All right?
Whatever you say, okay. One of them shouted over their shoulder, "Follow us, but any funny business and you'll regret it."
No,
I love how they don't even try to disarm the clearly antagonistic John.
I like seeing this because it makes me think of Uncle Vernon. Any funny business, any of them.
We don't have any meals for a week.
Saranath? Is that how you pronounce that? Saranath? You're not in A Song of Ice and Fire. Swords are generally the main weapon in that universe.
Yes.
Also, they did not teleport. They were picked up by Kuvira in an instant. And
You mean Kireina?
Yes.
Kuvira is the elf that we made for a Gamer's Inheritance.
True.
Isn't that the same thing?
Who would be ashamed? No, she disappeared reappeared and disappeared in a flash to drop them behind the gate just as a spectacle.
Probably not, but okay, he whispered under his breath. Alice heard him as she rode by and slapped him on the shoulder like a mother chiding a child. Harrigan just smirked. Or chiding a child, not chiding a child.
Also, I just got tortured for 12 days and watched my brother get beaten up and his fingernails ripped out. She slaps him on the shoulder, just everything's good now.
Yep, no trauma.
What's
Homely
trauma?
would be the word he'd use to describe the inside of the castle walls. It was like everything was 25% smaller than Winterfell.
What? Have you seen a picture of the real Winterfell from the books? 25%? Their castle wouldn't even be the size of the keep of Winterfell.
Give me a second here. It's 25% smaller. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm glad we continued.
John was also charmed by it all as he looked about the place. A few more guards were eyeing the three of them up, and some workers even stopped what they were doing to witness the spectacle of John riding a horse.
What?
What? So, I saw the guards were eyeing them up, and it made me think of the "Ooh, I'm a little horny honey" scene.
Oh God, yeah, I'll put it.
Oh man, I'm a little tiny horny honey.
His face at the end is great.
That movie is such a meme, and I love it.
Every line is a meme.
We can
I really
rewatch
wish
it at
they
some
had
point.
done. I really wish they had done the sequel.
That would have been great.
We should do another movie night of that particular movie at some point.
Yes.
Like invite everyone to it.
Yeah, invite everyone from Shiro's server. Everyone.
Literally any server you're in, just invite people. Just watch this stupid movie and you'll enjoy it.
I mean, when I posted clips of it during the King of Magic reading a few nights ago, people people were saying that we should do a stream of it, so
Like,
there is interest in Shiro's server for Kung Pao.
how many people can Cosme support?
I think there's no limit, but I'll look into it.
Because Shiro's server has like over 1,000 people, I think.
3,000, but there's only
Okay, I don't know about.
there's only like 50 active, so
It feels like a lot more than that.
Look, man. I'll look into Cosme after this stream. I don't think there's a limit, but I could be wrong.
And yes, Saranath, it would definitely get in the way of the thank you betting. Or not.
all the doorways are 25% smaller too, so you have to scoop right there. Yes.
Yes.
The Castle Hornwood is a hobbit hole.
All the people are 25% smaller too. That's why John thought he could take those guards so easily.
Oh.
No, I mean, he has experience in taking multiple guards on.
You should not have said the last 2 words.
You shouldn't have
No,
said.
I know exactly how that sounded, and I did it deliberately.
Oh dear.
Please, no more trouble. You have no idea how much I need a hot bath and some warm food, Alice said as she leaned closer to him. Oh, boy.
No.
He held up both of his hands in mock surrender. You can do the talking. My lips are sealed, he said as they came to a stop and dismounted from their horses.
He needs to keep
Carrie
those
was
lips
a
well
bit
rested.
wobbly on his feet, but shook off any help. John just shook his head as he handed the reins of the 2 horses to the stable keeper. Northerners could be so stubborn sometimes, he says, as though he wasn't a northerner. The 3 of them were escorted into the main keep of the castle and told to wait there, as one of the guards disappeared. To get Lord Hallis, he presumed, and the other kept an eye on them. The guard watching them was looking at John intently, so he decided he'd do the same and just stared at the man with what Garion used to call his Tywin glare.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Tywin would be ashamed.
Okay.
Tywin would be insulted.
Nope, Tywin's gonna kneel to John. He wouldn't be insulted.
Balls, we're not talking about Shiro server or like any Discord server. We're talking about Cosme, which is the website I use to stream movies.
Is there really a server that hit 100,000?
I wouldn't be surprised. Have you used the PC version of Discord?
No.
There are public servers, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's that many people in one.
Yeah.
That would be insane. Even if just 10% were active. There'd be no way to keep up with the conversation. Oh my God, yes.
So I just looked it up for Cosme, and there's no set limit, but it seems because you are streaming from your computer, it's not recommended to go above 10
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I know how the service works. I stream to them, and they stream to everyone else. That makes sense. I'm not specifically streaming to all your IPs. I think.
But you don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I read ahead a little bit. John won the imaginary war as the man looked away.
War?
That's right, bitch. Look away. He grinned over his success and stopped when he saw Alice looking at him unamused. He looked back at the guard, who now had a grin of his own.
Got him.
John is already whipped, and he hasn't even slept with her yet.
John just lost. No. I need to copy this, John. This is a momentous occasion. John losing is a rare event here.
He is pussy whipped without getting.
He hasn't even gotten it yet. He's got to get Rob's permission first.
Part is one.
Or Red Roach's permission, I mean.
Yes, Red Roach. I recognize this name.
Prick, he said under his breath. The guard heard him and started moving towards John, but was stopped by a bellowing shout from the other end of the hall.
Oh, God.
3 guesses who this is.
Oh, we know who this is.
Harrion, my good man, it's so good to see you in one piece. And you, Lady Alice. Lord Rob will be very happy to know his intended is safe and unharmed. He's been very worried, I tell you. A gray-haired fellow boomed across the hall. This was Lord Hallis, he presumed. Alice, to her credit, curtsied to the Lord. Thank you, Lord Hallis. News about my intended is always welcome. Hopefully as welcome as we are in your castle. The past few days have been truly awful, my lord. My brother here will be in need of your maester, and we'd appreciate accommodation for the night, if that's okay, my lord, she asked. You wouldn't have thought she'd just been through hell with how she'd spoke. You wouldn't have thought she'd been through hell with how she's acting.
Yeah. Before even talking in here.
You know what should have happened? Harrison, as soon as they got to the gate, should have collapsed off the horse and needed taken to the maester immediately, showing that he had been going through all this with pure willpower. It would have
should have been carried in.
It would have upped his character, showed he's still human, and that would have been a lot better.
Look, he's a background character now. He's not important anymore. All right.
No, it's the only ones important right now are John and his future waifu.
Yes.
No, she's not a waifu. She's just a bangfu.
Same thing.
Red Roach has got a good one there. Lord Hallis waved her off like she'd asked for something absurd. Of course it's okay, Lady Alice. He shook his head and smiled at the 2 Karstarks. Lord Red Roach will be ever so pleased to see you. Racked with worry that one earlier. They should be back soon. Getting dark out there, he said as he held out his hand to Harrion and shook it.
I'm imagining people actually starting to call him Red Roach.
Imagine shaking the hand of someone whose fingernails have been ripped off.
Oh.
Imagine being the man with his fingernails ripped off and willingly shaking someone's hand.
I'm imagining it wasn't willingly. The other guy just grabbed his hand and just started shaking hard.
Are we going to ignore the piece where he said, it's good to see you in one piece? Before he was ripped apart, literally.
Oh, no.
Like missing a part of his ear, missing some teeth, missing all his fingernails and toenails.
And he's walking. It sucks when you're missing 1 toenail to walk, let alone 10.
So good to see you in one piece.
All right. My brain, man. God damn. All right, let's keep going.
He's going to lose the rest of the ear because of infection.
Back soon? Red Roach is here? He couldn't think more of it as the lord of the castle moved across to him and eyed him up and down. And who is this? He asked as he looked in Harrion's direction. This was the man who saved us. If it wasn't for him, I don't know what would be happening to us right now, Harrion said as he gave a sad look in Alice's direction.
Wait, what? He doesn't know? Ramsay literally told him.
Yeah, it was spelled out in crystal clear detail.
It would have been dead.
No. They wouldn't have been dead. They would have wanted to be dead.
Lord Hallis turned back to him. Well, he certainly looks like he can handle himself, especially with them 2 swords on his back that he shouldn't really have at the moment. Finally, someone with some sense.
No, someone with 2 swords on their back look like an idiot and looks like they don't know what to do.
I keep reading this with like a southern accent.
Especially with them 2 swords on his back that he shouldn't really have at the moment.
Such a redneck.
he said as he looked at the two guards that had escorted them. They had the decency to look down in shame with their failure to claim his weapons at the gate.
I love that he actually pointed it out.
Yeah, that's what I meant by someone who has some sense. Do you have a name, lad? Lord Hallis asked as he turned back to him. Yep. Lord Hallis shook his head and grinned. And are you going to tell us it? He asked.
Nope.
Probably.
Oh, God.
John, Alice warned. So it's John. John what? Lord Hallis said as he grinned to Alice and then looked back at him. So, he replied.
Couldn't he be able to guess this?
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty big deal that John was one of the only ones that actually had the Stark look.
Yeah, but John was missing for a few years now, so
Yes,
He would still have the Stark look.
Not just that. He's supposed to look very much like Ned.
Yep. Like his spitting image.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was in Japan and has a beard now, and he looks cool.
An amazing beard, actually.
He has the beard of awesomeness. The manliest beard this side of Westeros.
Beard better than Myth's beard.
If anything, that looks like
if that were true Zero, I would respect him. If his beard was actually bigger than mine, he would have my respect.
That would really get in the way.
Yeah, good point.
Thank you.
That is a good point. But they don't know that.
And I'm sure he has
because
some
Dirk
knives.
doesn't know that. Snow, he replied. Lord Hallis's eyes widened. Jon Snow? Lord Stark's lad? He asked. Lord Hallis's eyes lit up like he'd struck gold. He just nodded his head in response. It was out there now. Jon Snow was back in town.
Wait, what? No. Oh, good Lord.
Also, this dialogue is riveting, really.
That's horrible.
Added that into dumpster fires.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
His eyes have turned squinty to fit in.
That's why nobody sees them. Oh no.
Oh no.
Terrible.
This just keeps getting better and better, the man seemed to mutter to himself.
Honestly, it really is for him. You know the
Yeah.
shit he can get out of this by taking credit for
I
it?
mean, he's just found the two missing Karstarks and Lord Stark's missing bastard. He has won in the North at this point.
Oh yeah, the Karstarks will now be on his side, and so will Ned. He doesn't really have to worry again. His position,
everyone is in his debt.
Position.
Yep.
But I'm sure John's going to get all the credit.
I hate that you're right.
You say that a lot.
Harrion cleared his throat. Lord Hallis, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, we'd like to get out of these dirty clothes. And I really would like the maester to take a look at me, he said, clearly impatient now.
Impatient? I'm fucking screaming at him.
I need a medic.
Man down,
medic here.
Man down, medic.
Yes, of course. Donnell always said I could talk the ears off anybody when I wanted to. Of course, she's the one who gets the worst of it.
He's still not getting the medic.
Harrion just raised an eyebrow. I'm rambling. Right, you two follow me. John, these servants will take you to the kitchens for something to eat while I get the rooms prepared. Lord Hallis said as he escorted the two Karstarks away. Alice looked over her shoulder at him and mouthed, "Be good" at him.
Oh, God.
He just saluted her and she shook her head.
Is
She's
saluting a thing in
treating him
Westeros?
as though they were romantic partners.
Yep.
But they aren't. Probably.
It adds even more validation to my theory.
Yep.
I
I just
mean-
like how he's saluting her.
Yeah, like
That's
Like-
why I asked, is saluting a thing in Westeros?
No.
The salute
No.
I'm imagining. He's going, "Hail, Alice."
Oh no. Terrible.
he could smell the food before he could see it. And when he did, he realized just how hungry he was. He'd had nothing all day. It looked like the leftovers from a feast, but he didn't care. One of the servants handed him a plate and told him to help himself. He nearly kissed the man.
Okay, I've got multiple things to say about that sentence.
Up.
One,
Which sentence? Hold on.
that one about the food.
Oh, not the kiss?
I'm going to ignore that. Just ignore that.
All right.
One, he should not be complaining after the other two people he rescued have not eaten for 12 freaking days.
No,
He
they
has
they
no
ate
right-
they
What?
ate the leftovers that were in the hut.
That's
No,
not.
they ate bits of cheese. That should be enough, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's in no position to complain right now.
He's
Secondly,
always in a position to complain. Why are you trying to
Secondly-
check his privilege?
because I have to. Secondly, the leftovers from a feast that a noble would hold are what are insane, are still good. Honestly,
Man. I
He's
know
been
you're trying to use
spoiled by that
logic here.
Japanese by his time in Japan.
Yeah, like he eats ramen now. All right.
this
Yeah.
is the best food peasants got when the lords and ladies gave the leftovers of the feast to the peasants.
Yeah, but ramen though.
Yeah.
No,
He's discovered ramen and scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
oh God,
Come on, everyone knows ramen is amazing.
not as amazing as salted pork.
Indeed.
With his plate full and a horn of ale, John made his way out of the kitchen and into the halls, where a different servant showed him to his room. There was no conversation between the two of them, even with the girl constantly eyeing him up.
And I'll stop here.
Oh man, I'm a little tiny horny honey.
The little tiny part is true. They're 25% smaller.
Yep.
It would have been rude to speak with a mouthful of chicken. He wasn't in the mood for conversation either. He was buzzing with excitement instead, excited to see his brother again.
Chicken seems to be a meal that's favored in Westeros a lot. They have a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
chickens. Yeah, which one of them?
Oh, Serenad's on fire.
Yes. What? My betrothed? Oh, yes. John's sheer manliness caused me to forget momentarily.
Oh, shit.
Forget for a few hours so she can do some.
She's got to give him her maidenhead.
Oh no.
I hope he's
No.
not mad.
He
I
has
don't know
to take
how I
her
would
in every
handle
way a
that.
man can take a woman.
Wait, what?
It's a reference to the books. When Dario took Danny in all the ways a man can take a woman.
He was shown into his room. It wasn't large, but it had what he needed. A roaring fire, a feather bed, and a hot bath. The servant curtsied and left him to it.
Yep, he's almost complaining about luxury items.
Yep,
It's great.
He placed his food and drink on the table and took his blades off his back. He grabbed his plate and horn and sat on the bed. He almost sunk into its softness. He leant against the wall, and the bed... Yes, leant. Against the wall the bed was next to, and quietly enjoyed his dinner.
You know, his bed is gonna be dirty as hell.
Hell yeah,
Yep.
it will.
But that's fine. A servant can clean it. They don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, they're nothing. Worthless.
What do
He's
you mean?
Jon
I have to clean
Snow. What are you expecting?
it? What do you mean I have to clean it within an hour so you can go to sleep? I mean, I sat on it while I had dirty clothes on. Clean it, you little peasant.
I've got good food, good northern ale, a nice soft feather bed, and a steaming hot bath. He was also going to be seeing his brother again. The gods were looking down on him today. Hell, he might even treat himself tonight and toss himself off before he goes to bed.
Oh, God. There's another hint that she's going to show up in his room.
Toss himself off?
Hopefully off the freaking top of the tower.
Like he's tossing his own salad?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know he was so flexible. Jesus.
Oh, God.
With his food polished off, John undressed and sank into the copper bath he was provided with.
Damn.
The muscles in his arse and back were singing in pleasure at the relief from all that riding.
Yeah, the riding, buddy. Yeah, boy.
I'm sorry, but copper? Damn, that's a fancy bath for back then.
He cleaned himself off fairly quickly and just laid there with his eyes closed, letting the heat soothe the rest of his body. If he wasn't too careful, he'd fall asleep with how blissful it was.
Why does he need to be careful? It's perfectly fine to fall asleep in the bath.
He must have been laid in that bath for nearly half an hour. Yeah.
Another variant.
It might have been even longer if it wasn't for the clear commotion that was happening outside his room. He looked over his shoulder at the door. If he was about to be attacked, he wouldn't hesitate to fight his assailant stark naked. Thankfully, he wasn't about to be attacked. Going on the shout he heard outside from his window. Somebody was at the gates, and by the sounds of it, they were being opened. Rob? Or I'm sorry, Red Roach?
Using Santorio, 3-sword style.
Calm down, Zorro.
No.
He'd never got out of a bath quicker in his life. I am literally on the floor laughing, the Serant says.
I feel accomplished because of this.
Water sloshed all over the ground as he toweled off the fresh linens he was provided with. He dressed as quick as he could, strapping his swords and his dagger in their appropriate positions. He ran his fingers through his damp curls and picked up his horn of ale before necking the amounts in the remains in a single gulp. Please don't be mad, Rob. There was a knock on the door, and he must have startled the servant with how quick he opened it. Lord Hallis has told me to tell you the search party has returned, my lord, the man said as he bowed and walked off. With a spring in his step, he all but jogged through the keep and out of the front door. He was surprised at the amount of horses and dogs that were in the courtyard. Search party? Rob must have a small army here. There was a lot of movement in and around the horses that were currently being moved to the stables. There was a small crowd in front of him, and he was stood at the back trying to see if he could spot those telltale auburn locks. What made him scrunch his face in annoyance was the sight of one Theon Greyjoy.
God damn it.
He's on the function.
Everyone hates Theon, and he doesn't deserve all that hate. Of course that prick was here. Why hadn't he
mean-
considered that earlier? His face calmed and a smile grew as he saw his brother. He had a few more inches on him now. Still a poor excuse of a beard, though.
Yes.
Yes, talking about yourself
Wait.
there.
Wait. Does that mean Rob is taller than John right now?
Yep.
That's what it sounds like.
So
Someone's
John's
actually
short as
taller
hell.
than- Yes.
Even though
John-
John was already of the same size as Ned.
Ned's not very
Oh,
tall.
he's about to be attacked, all right. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He chuckled at the thought of that. He'd told John years ago that he couldn't wait to grow one. His brother was in an embrace with a woman. From the back, he couldn't really tell. But if he were to guess by the beaming smile his brother had on his face, it was Alice.
Nope, it's his favorite
I
whore.
would
from
hope
horror.
so.
No, it's his favorite whore from this castle.
Oh, that makes more sense, actually. He was glad he'd been in the right. He was glad he'd been in the right place at the right time. He would have to thank Kireina for her intuition. If she'd not got his butt moving this morning, it could have been a whole different story. He saw Lord Hallis walk up to Rob and shake his hand. Alice was currently stood next to Rob, with both her hands holding one of his, almost hugging his arm. He couldn't spot Harrion, but if he had to guess, the Lord was probably still in with the Maester. Yeah, you don't think.
Probably put to bed and told to rest.
Yeah. Lord Hallis then moved across to someone, stood behind a horse, and held his hand out. Who he saw made the blood in his veins run molten. He could hear his heart beating in his ears, and his vision narrowed.
Oh God! Is it
Why did I not think I'd be this angry? Why does he have to be here right now? Am I supposed to play nice because we have an audience? What the fuck do I do?
Oh God! he's so horribly overreacting.
This needs a copy.
John has horrible emotional control.
Yes.
Extremely bad.
He would have to think fast. The man in question had Lord Hallis whispering in his ear, and his eyes darted all over the place like he was looking for something. Where? The man said, almost yelling at Lord Hallis. Rob looked at the man confused. That's when Lord Hallis looked around himself and finally locked eyes with John and smiled. John wasn't in the mood for smiling anymore. He was pointed at by Lord Hornwood, and all eyes turned to him, especially the two Starks that were in the yard.
Oh dear.
I mean, Theon should be running away right about now.
Yeah, afraid of getting his nose broken.
I mean,
Red Roach was almost crying when he finally realized who he was looking at, but the other man, Lord Stark. Well, he looked like he'd seen a ghost. John? Lord Stark almost whispered, almost like he didn't want to scare him away. John just looked at him with cold eyes and didn't respond.
scare him away. Where the hell is he?
Dramatic.
Scare him away. Where the hell is he supposed to go? He's in the middle of a castle, surrounded by guards.
Can call a dragon down and fly away.
Just a side note, but the Ramsay death was supposed to be a lot worse. But I couldn't really find a way of fitting a death in that involved him being beheaded and sewn to the body of one of his hounds.
Jesus Christ.
It would have been a nice callback to the Robin Greywind mutilation after the Red Wedding, but it just felt forced in my IMO, so yeah. On a lighter note, lol, hope you enjoyed it. I should still be able to get the next chapter out next week. And again, happy holidays, X.
I can think of multiple ways that could have been done.
What did Ned Stark actually do to him? Well, I'm
He
glad
didn't
you
tell
asked
him
this
who his
question.
mommy was.
He did not tell him who his mom was.
Also, to be fair, a legitimate complaint that John doesn't know about. Ned kidnapped him from and raised him as a bastard when he should have been raised as the prince down in King's Landing because Rhaegar won.
Yeah,
Sarah, this is an alternate universe where Rhaegar won, and
Rhaegar won this time.
Ned took him out of spite and told Rhaegar that his daughter died.
Yeah.
He actually, I think he killed Lyanna, or didn't he?
No, Lyanna died naturally. Ned killed Prince Lewin Martell, who was the one that was guarding Lyanna.
In another story, Targaryen dragons, he actually kills Lyanna.
I like this comment because I had that same thought when we were first reading it. Why would he even go through all this trouble? Why not just kill the baby?
Right?
Because it was his beloved nephew, and he had too much honor.
Yeah, honor.
Honor?
Yeah.
Without honor, there is nothing.
34 comments. Let's see what we got here.
And look at all those kudos. I wonder what kind of idiots kudos this.
I mean, I'm an idiot. Amazing chapter. My name is Dylan.
Zero, you're a dick.
I know. Another great chapter. Have a happy holidays. Thank
See,
you.
it was Christmas.
Yep. He's finally back. Can't wait to see what will happen. Great chapter as always. Oh. Someone's correcting him. Otherwise, I'm glad Ramsay hadn't gone around to anything too graphic. The guy ripped the fingernails, toenails.
Yeah, but that happened off screen.
And really, that's not that graphic anyway. That's
Diana Deralti.
That's like the very beginning stages of a torture session. Like, I can only think of a few things to do before that, and it's...
I have a question. Are you speaking from experience? Like...
I should hope not.
What? Even if I was, why would I answer that?
I really hope Jon hits Ned. Can't wait for the next chapter.
The broken-nosed Lord of Winterfell.
Awesome. Damn, now I have to wait a week again. This story is progressing nicely. Please update really soon.
Progressing nicely.
You know.
I mean, it's
Great
progressing
chapter.
all right.
Can't wait for the next one. And a Merry fucking Christmas to me. I've been dying to read this chapter for so long. Bro, the chapter before it came out a week before.
I don't care.
It's a week.
Yeah.
Okay, this one annoys me because I sometimes I release stuff and people 10 minutes later are like, "Great chapter, update please." Like, bro, I just finished. Just
Yeah,
please.
When I uploaded the first chapter of Gamer's Inheritance, like a few days later, I got a review saying, "A shame this is abandoned."
I get that all the time. Shame this is abandoned. Bro, it was released 2 days ago. It even got to the point that I was checking frequently for an update in case it came out earlier than expected. Great chapter as always. That cliffhanger killed me though. I can't wait to see what happens. Yeah, you know what happens.
Yeah.
There's gonna be tension. Rob is gonna diffuse tension. We're like, "I missed you, brother." Blah blah blah. They'll sit together.
John's probably gonna throw a punch.
And John will bang
Yeah, he's
out.
gonna punch Theon. And probably
Whether
Ned.
it's Theon or Ned is up for debate.
Both of them. He has two
We know-
fists.
What we know is someone is gonna get punched, and then they're gonna go to Winterfell with Kireina not even being like just flying around. That's it.
Yeah, Kireina's not even gonna be mentioned. No one's
not gonna
noticed.
know what's
And Catelyn will be Lady Catelyn again.
Kireina is not going to show up in the story anymore. She was just a plot device to get John to this point.
Great chapter. Ramsay's death was a bit anticlimactic, but still satisfying. Cliffhangers, God, do I hate them. Oh my god.
They just making you angry when the most anticipated scene begins.
I think that's the point, buddy.
Yeah.
We've also read the chapter.
Yeah.
I like the hook you have at the end of this chapter. Great chapter. You did a good job. Okay, this one.
That's
okay.
not a hook. That part is good, but that's that end of the chapter is not a hook.
That's not a hook. You've been in the trash fire, Chief. This has always been a trash fire. Ned is gonna say something so dumb and gonna piss off John. I can see it in the flames.
His profile picture is dumb.
Yeah, I agree with this. That it's dumb, not that it's good. Ned do something dumb? No, that won't ever happen. Shut up, Dirk, full of errors.
His profile picture is worse.
This looks like Frozen.
I meant Dirk and full of errors.
I meant this. Wow, I can't wait for the next chapter. John sure is going to explode. Previous comment deleted. I guess he got so embarrassed that he deleted his comment. I liked this before? What the fuck is wrong with me?
But we know it was positive.
Hey.
Alice will be walking funny for reasons other than saddle sore. Oh.
Oh.
She's still gonna be sore from riding.
Leave a comment thanking for the excellent live chat material. You know what? I just might, and I will use Dylan as the name of the person.
Go ahead.
Awesome story so far, and a great chapter. Great chapter. Happy, okay, wonderful present. Ramsey died. Caught off guard. Arrogant till the end. This is how people see these guys. Like they don't consider them to be intelligent villains. They think villains have to be arrogant and easily disposed of.
This is a problem with a lot of fan fictions, to be honest.
A lot of fictions too.
True. You do not make the heroes incompetent so the villains can win. You make the villains competent.
Yep. When is he planning to give back Bright Roar and Blackfire? Does he know about the upcoming tourney at Harrenhal? When will John visit Joy Hill? You know what? That should have been the first thing he did.
Yeah.
He went west of Westeros. The first thing he would have reached was the Westerlands.
The Westerlands. But he flew right over them and went to Dorne.
Like Joy Hill?
Why would he visit Joy Hill? He doesn't care about Garion. He's left him behind.
Can we have a stare off between Tyne and John? Will he ever go back to Japan?
Please.
Look, I wasn't gonna copy this, but this needs copying just because of the last question.
How
will he ever go back to Japan?
John has to be the emperor.
How old is Joy?
I don't know, older than John. I know that.
Great.
Probably. I could be wrong.
Old enough for John to be legal.
She's within a few years of John's age because Garion was in Japan for 10 years, I'm pretty sure.
Good. Very good.
So happy he was even planning on jerking it before bed. Thank you.
Why do you even care about that?
I'm telling you, some of these reviewers will just their head just anything just sets them off, especially with stuff that has memes in it. Why do you think Team 4 Stars stuff is so popular? Because back when it came out, they made references to everything. I'm not saying it's not funny, but the references drive people crazy.
To be fair, it's not like you didn't mention that activity in Lightning Dragon Roar.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like I didn't, Seriously. First thing is that I think Kireina should have said that she smelled blood or could see the hanging bodies outside the house instead of somehow making an intuition-powered comparison of Ramsay Bolton and Euron Greyjoy. Also, just a thought about the dogs. Yeah, it isn't their fault they were trained to hunt down and eat humans. But what do you think they're gonna do when they regroup and start to get hungry? Oh,
No,
eh.
here. here's
Is
the-
that
oh,
logic?
Holy crap! Oh, to any stray hunter or small family that wants a picnic in the woods. Okay, I don't know about families. Don't usually picnic in woods here, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the woods are dangerous. This isn't going to the park near the house. Side note: I think I could have lived without reading John saying he was going to toss himself off.
Yeah.
I'm happy about it. I'm not happy.
I could have
about
lived without it. There are two types of people in this world.
ones who toss themselves off and the ones who don't.
I'm proud of this reviewer, but at the same time, I'm sad about him because he read this far.
Yep. Yeah, I have to scroll up here and put the comment.
Are you seriously going to comment every chapter now?
Thank you for the live chat material, buddy. Or biggest fan,
No,
Dylan.
no.
What?
Wait.
I'm waiting.
Say it really gave us a lot of laughs.
Wait. Don't sign it, Dylan.
Do I sign it?
Give me just a second.
Yeah, take it. Are you gonna do Harold whatever?
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Beautiful.
Just put Dylan first.
There,
Dylan,
it's in the
Harold,
private chat.
James.
What?
Holy crap. Copy this and just straight up paste it.
Wait. At the end,
Waiting.
put King of Magic.
Oh, yeah.
Lord of the Fae, ruler of Avalon, and Prince of the Iron Court.
Prince of Asgard as
Tsar of
well.
Russia.
Oh, Prince of Asgard.
And Tsar of Russia.
Lord of the United States.
Nah.
I want to see some pissed off patriotic American react to that.
What more do I have to put here? Is there any more?
I mean, you're from Canada, so.
Good? I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yep, that's good. God.
Yeah, just to make sure.
You're on the second page.
Oh, is it? Oh,
You're
I'm
the
an
only one on the second page.
idiot. Beautiful.
By the way, check the comment from last time.
Wait,
If
we
some-
forgot. We forgot a few titles.
Like what?
No
Lord
one
of the
cares.
Sky, Lord of the
Oh.
Underworld, and Lord of the Seas.
Anything else? Be the lord of like my pizza. Like, is there anything that like maybe we should just lord of pizza. There we go.
Richest man to ever walk the face of the galaxy.
This man to ever walk the face of the galaxy. Oh, there we go. That should do it.
Wait,
What? What?
What? What now?
What more do you want?
Owner of slaves and husband of 49 women.
All right.
It's 42 right now.
Owner of slaves and husband of what, 42?
Yes.
We'll keep women not capitalized because that makes it more sexist.
Yes, it's great.
It's beautiful. Let me just take a
Yes.
screenshot of this.
I hope this gets comments on it. Like replies and everything.
I don't know if it'll get comment.
It'd be great if this is the thing that made Dirk reply.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Neville and Hannah. Oh no.
Lord of the Cuck.
Yeah, I'll do that too. There we go. That's the final product.
Yes.
That's a great final. You need to copy this, put it in the chat so Myth can paste this. In a
Oh, copy paste it, not a screenshot.
yeah, so Myth can paste this full name and titles.
Oh, I'm not going to say that. I'm not
You
going to
might
read that
say it,
whole thing.
But you can always put it as a mod jerk or something.
Oh.
I'll copy it and put it in dumpster fire. Just the title and the name. There we go.
That's magnificent.
Jesus Christ.
Harold
He's
James
still adding
George.
stuff.
What is it?
Are you still adding stuff to that?
No, we finished adding.
Okay.
Harold James George.
Maybe you should add Dylan at the beginning. Dylan Harold.
Dylan Harold. All right, sure.
No, if you're gonna add my name, you're adding all of your names.
Sure. Say Myth and Ryle. Unless you guys. My name is public knowledge, so I'm cool with sharing it.
And my name became public knowledge.
Yes. There we go. Now that's beautiful.
Harold
What about
James.
Alfheim?
Oh God, I forgot about. He's Prince of Alfheim.
We're still at this. God damn it. Okay, let's put it here.
We made our own list.
This needed a list, so we're adding it. We're just adding a list. Beautiful. Okay. This is the final product. I'm for real this time. No more fucking around. This is done. I'm gonna take another. I have like 6 screenshots of this now. Okay. And that's
And
it
now
for this
say it
chapter.
in your most pompous voice possible.
Me? Okay. Just the name, or like?
Yes, like introduce yourself like someone like that would.
Oh, my name is Samir, Dylan, Myth, Ryle, Harold, James, George, Arthur, Philip, Albert, Richard, Loki, Black, Stark, Slytherin, Gaunt, Seward, Sayre, Quirrell, Pruitt, Peveril, LeFay, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Moonlily, Pendragon, Merlin, Emery, Orion, Ilvermorny, Salem, Flamel, Bobaton, Shishisi, Wagadu, Romanov, Bonham, Fleamont, Barnes, Goldstein, Da Vinci, I ruined it.
Carlos Storts.
Of Stort, Washington, Franklin, Jefferson, Hancock, Adams, Van Gogh, Anderson, Buckman, Harkness, Redbird, Evans, Tudor, Ryan, Hohenzollern, Summer, Winter, Avalon, Ironcourt, Bones, Nicholas Lestrange, Potter, King of Magic, Lord of the Fae, ruler of Avalon, prince of the Iron Court, prince of Asgard, prince of Alfheim, Tsar of Russia, lord of the United States of America, lord of the skies, lord of the underworld, lord of the seas, lord of pizza, richest man to ever walk the face of the galaxy, owner of slave, husband of 42 women, and Lord Cucker of Neville. Where is Dumpster Fire? Dumpster Fire is in my Discord channel. You can reach my Discord through the link in the description. It's like a link that leads to several other links, and a Discord is one of them. It's like the link tree and has 0 rewind in it. You'll see it. But I think we're done here.
Yeah.
I'll do the
Yeah.
thing where I check the next chapter's name. This chapter is called Uprooted Evil. The next chapter will be called The Return. Oh, it'll be epic. Chapter 13, The Return. He feels bad for leaving us with a cliffhanger. So we'll be reading this next week. Just scroll up and... How do you guys feel?
Amused, hurting my
It's been
soul.
a journey.
Content.
Yes, it has.
It's been almost 4 hours. Just
Yeah.
It's like the first few streams we did.
yeah. I might do 3 streams a month if we do 4-hour streams because StreamYard has limitations on how much time you can stream. That's why I try to keep it to 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
I mean, if it becomes an issue, we can just stop. But I mean, it should be fine. Other than that,
Oh God.
I mean,
God.
each of us could make an account, right?
you know what? That's a good idea. I didn't even think of that. I feel stupid now. Never mind.
I just realized something.
Up.
That incest tag is not just for the Targs. It's going to be for Alice, Rob, John.
How is Alice related to John?
She's just in the
Tar
middle.
Starks are a branch of the Stark family.
Are you saying he's gonna want to do Rob?
I mean, what happens in Dawn stays in Dawn, remember?
Oh no! What happens in Hornwood Castle? Hornwood stays in Hornwood Castle. Terrible.
Oh no.
Depleted. You're on it, depleted. Are you saying your name is depleted?
How he feels. You asked.
Oh, yeah. I feel depleted as well. It's been a while.
Anyway, puberty hit John hard in a good way. Still one of the best things.
You know, that still makes me laugh every time. I wonder what happens if you click it.
It shows all
How
the
many
stories that are
fics
tagged
have
there.
that tag? Is it just the Rising Sun?
Just the
Yes.
rising sun. God damn. Let's go back here.
I mean, you could write your own story and have that tag as well.
Puberty hit John hard in a good way. You're right. All right. I think it's time for me to end the stream and die in peace or something.
All right.
Good night, my friends.
See
Good
you next
night.
week.
I guess I should thank you. But that'd be out of character. Maybe you should just throw an insult my way instead. Yeah, that sounds better. Still, I owe you.
And everyone. Bye-bye.